It is the Circuit of the Americas that we are taking on this evening, and for some reason you can't hear me, and hopefully you can hear me now. We are taking on the Circuit of Americas this evening. Obviously we've been here for the Who Darren Cup, we've been here for Pro-Am last night, in which I can tell you, as a little update, that Pro-Am tickets still have until midnight tonight to go in, but there is no reports on Benny Varga thus far, which means he is still provisionally champion. If there is no tickets come the end of tonight, he will be classified as full champion. Obviously, if he is involved in any tickets that need to be investigated, this will then be looked at a late over the weekend, and we'll see what happens penalty wise from there. So at the moment, no tickets in on Benny Varga. He is still your provisional champion, and if no tickets go in on Benny Varga through this evening, he will remain and fully be confirmed as champion. But welcome to the Pro evening, where 3 championships are still up for grabs tonight in the Pro Platinum, in the Pro Gold, and in the Teams Championship. There is no Kieran O'Reilly, and bearing in mind this is the first round this evening without the drop score, so that is crucial for MSA Racing. Could allow Momentum Motorsport and Team Audio Sport the chance to get a little bit closer to them going into a decider at Donington. Cairns will be looking with some great pace at the moment, whereas Vitas hasn't yet sat a lap, so we're unsure where he's sitting on the pace. Cairns looking to try and reduce that gap from 87 points in gold. And then you've got Ben Ruck and Rozalski going up against Sylph, who leads by 47 points. So realistically, this will all go to the Donington Park for a Donington decider. But what will the gaps be tonight? That is going to be the biggest question. I'm joined in the commentary booth for a one-off night this evening. Obviously, Kelly is in New Zealand on his holiday. So, Kelly, we hope you're having a good time in in New Zealand if you are watching. But we're joined by one of our old commentators from a few seasons ago, Phil Raiden, PM Motorsport, for those of you who know him. He is back with us for tonight. Good evening, Phil. How are we?
Hello, Matt. Hello, guys. I have no idea what's happening on Thursdays because I haven't been watching.
What's been happening is a lot of different race winners and a lot of chaos as well, a lot of good racing. I'll quickly run through the championship standings with the last 5 minutes of practice. Sylph leads, 47 points as we've said from Rozalski, 48 from Ben Ruck in Platinum. Kieran O'Reilly is 4th, but he's not here tonight. Schmidt is 5th, so he'll go above O'Reilly going into Donington. Next week, Dan Davis as well could also try and get ahead of O'Reilly. He's some 70 points behind the current defending champion, or the outgoing defending champion, should we say. And then Diesch, not here tonight, he's P7. Komar is P8. They can all still win the Platinum category. Clouden is 9th, he can no longer win it. Bolton 10th, Carlos 11th from Mike Matthews. Skunky, McGowan, Matt Wright, Brandon Williams, Radic, Mezin, Overtaker and Leger. Great to see Leger back. He's not had a wheel for the last couple of weeks. His proper wheel has now arrived from Fanatec because they sent him the wrong one, and he's now back ready to go racing. In the Gold Championship, Vitas 87 points clear of Cairns. Can Cairns close that gap? He's had great pace all season. Can he do it once again tonight? Langley's 114 behind, so he's got to try and narrow this gap down. Manavola's climbed up to 4th in gold with Cardno in 5th. Hibbs P6 from Harris, Messino, DeCourt, Watkowiak, Castro, Butcher, Ramsel and Clace all can still win this Gold Championship. The drivers at Cannot is Stardog, Jimenez, Smith and Gillies. They can no longer win the championship. Stardog looks set to miss race 1 due to not being home in time, but should be here for race 2, he has told me in that one. And in the Teams Championship, 118 points separate MSA and Audio Sport, and 381 points separate MSA and Momentum Motorsport. So they're the only 3 teams that can win it. Can Momentum and Audio Sport gain on MSA Racing tonight and try and stay in them constructors fights? Cloud9 are P4th, just out of Racing Softs, with MSA Autosport P6. The Casuals are 7th from Quantum Motorsport, Team GBR P9, SimPlay Racing P10, then it's Blaze Motorsport, Utopia Motorsport, the Balkan Sim Hub, Greasy Bandits Racing and Bearded Racing down the bottom of the pack. We've had multiple race winners this season, as we say good evening to Rob Smith, Wainwright, Berserker and Sam Williams all in the chat as well. A few congratulations to Benny Varga in there, as well as PN himself in the chat. COTA then, Phil. I already know your opinions on this circuit. On paper, The idea of this track is brilliant. The execution, in my opinion, isn't very good. Give us your thoughts on this one tonight.
Yeah, I think they need to dig it up and try again, personally. I don't like COTA at all.
It's a circuit that, especially on ACC, has got a lot of silly track limits, because at most circuits it's the curbs, and at some parts of this track it's the curbs, but then you go through others and it's exactly on the white line. So it's a big mismatch, isn't it, around it? We could be in for some drive-through penalties tonight if drivers aren't careful.
Yeah, we could be. I hope everyone's got some drink ready, because you may need it every time someone get a drive-through. Take a swig.
We had, I think, 5 or 6 drive-throughs last night. A few stop-goes for speeding in the pits. The pit lane is...
Yeah, I've got no fingernails left after biting them and watching make sure Benny didn't get one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw that comment in the chat last night. I did giggle at that one. Yeah, watch out for that pit entry as well. The stop-go line, the pit limiter line, comes up pretty fast. You've got to want to watch that one as well. But yeah, what a night's worth of racing we could have in store at COTA. Schmidt currently the fastest man on circuit from Benruck, then the gold driver of Cairns, as Radic has now just gone P3, but Cairns P4. You look at them times, Phil, 9/10, a second covering the top 14. It's pretty close out there.
It is pretty close, and a track that would sting you now with a pace like that, wouldn't it?
Would indeed. Just under 2 minutes worth of practice left to go, so that'll be one last lap for drivers on one, or it'll be one more lap for drivers who's just about to start one. So yeah, interesting tonight. We've got 3 teams up for the constructors though. It could be really tight going into next week. 48 points separate the top 3 in Platinum. Cairns is going to try and claw back as many points over Vitas to make that as close as possible for gold, and then depending on what Momentum and Audio Sport can do, they could be right on the back of MSA Racing tonight, having 3 championships go into the final 2 rounds of the season. That's exactly what you want, isn't it? It's going to provide a great Donington Park.
Oh yeah, and you've got to have a Donny decider. It looked like, fingers crossed for my end as well, because Sodor Racing, if further win. Benny don't in any tickets, and Sodor Racing will be in Pro next season.
Yeah, there we go. Afternoon to Hypertech in the chat as well. What a night this could be in store here as yellow flags fly, but there's only yellow flags because people have returned to the pit lane. Where are we on the circuit? Who's not yet set a lap time out there? Just Vitas and Overtaker yet to set a lap time. Great to see Overtaker back on the track as Vitas now sets one and goes into 19th place. 1.5 seconds separating the top 20. Very close between all all 20 drivers there. Couple of tenths, you can move yourself up the pack no end, as Butcher's done just that. He's gone from 1.5 seconds all the way up now into P14 to only a second behind. So heck of a lap that from Butcher. But yeah, interested to see what's going to happen in this race. I think it could be an absolutely cracking one to see. This is your current gold leader in Vitas. 80, did I say 83, 87 points? 87 points clear of Cairns. At the moment, though, because the points are scored for overall positions, if that was to be your race 1 result, Cairns would really claw some points back on Vitas, wouldn't he?
He would. Well, again, I'm completely in the dark for this season, so it's great. But yeah, it is quite a big ask with only, 4 races to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got the sprint feature and here and Donny.
And I think this is going to be the interesting one, isn't it? Is excuse me, we've got obviously 85 points for a race win now. That doesn't look as likely for Cairns to... I say it doesn't look as likely for Cairns to do. He's got the pace tonight to possibly
Vitas
win a
could
race.
DC and not get back in.
Yeah.
And then that's 85 points scored back.
Yeah.
And without the drop scores now, because they were done earlier in the season.
They were done last week, yeah, exactly. That could be exactly it. That could be the one that really ruined your night. And it could just be 3 fascinating championships, going into that final week. I think we've got last night, I think Bettison is all but 1 bronze. He's not confirmed yet. He's got to score, I think, 20-odd more points over Malarex to do that. I think Malarex has got to claw back 140-odd points. And in the Teams Championship in Pro-Am, it's 2 points separating the top 2 in the Constructors. Here you've got 3 championships. In the Who Darren Cup, you've still got all 4 championships up for grabs. So great to see. Some fantastic championships, going right down to the wire.
Has the P5, so...
Yeah, he's rectified that then, so maybe this will be a lot closer in this. And This is going to be now what we're going to have to wait to see what Cairns can do. Cairns needs a few more drivers, but this is practice. I can tell you, looking at the timing screen, that a lot of these drivers have set lap times there on very different amounts of fuel. So practice isn't always everything to look at, but if Vitas can carry that pace through, that is exactly what he needs to do for this Gold Championship.
It is, yeah, and here we go, we're now gridding up. I want to go to helicopter cam. I remember my buttons I set on my controller to press.
We are gridding up then. So Patrick Leger on pole from Overtaker with Radic alongside on row 2 alongside Matt Wright. Mike Matthews on row 3 with Carlos. Row 4 is Clouden from Comor. Row 5 is Dan Davis and Schmidt. Ben Rook alongside Rozalski with championship leader in the Platinum on 13th place. Alongside him is Gillies with Butcher, not alongside Stardog. You can see that gap behind Sylph. That is where Stardog was meant to slot in. So Butcher on his own. Castro alongside Messino. Hibbs alongside that of Tom Cardno. Manavola with Langley. And then Cairns is also at the back with some... I think it's put Vitas a row back because of Stardog missing. So that will sort itself out. But yeah, no Stardog tonight. No Stardog for race 1. I think that's just glitched Vitas out and put him further back. At least it's not put someone else out of position. This could be an interesting race though, Phil. Who are you going for the race win?
Well, Overtaker's got a quite handy starting position. But he hadn't shown his pace in practice, which is usual Overtaker, to be honest. Who do I put the commentator's curse on? I haven't done that for a while either. When's the last time I've been in the comms box? I can't remember.
Last time he was in the comms box was the 6-hour Watkins Glen Endurance event.
Yeah, it was.
At the start of this season.
Yeah, and of course we're there back in 24 hours as well as being in the car most of the race. Yeah, let's not do that again. Or another driver, please.
Yeah. Berserker says good luck. Evening to Chris as well as Josh in the chat. Man, the track is bright. Holy moly, it is bright. Indeed, it's a beautiful sunny day.
Need some rain.
I don't know if you're on about my stream. I did change my settings for the night races because it was a little too dark. So apologies if that is the case, and I'll try and get that sorted in the mid-session break. I'm going Overtaker for the race win tonight. He's the most successful driver around here. 2 pole positions, 4 race wins to his name. The only other driver to win multiple races around here was Zampellini last season. Millington's got 2, and then Ukbar as well from many, many seasons ago. Mezin had 2 on Tuesday night, but I think Overtaker for the win. He knows this circuit well and always goes well around here, does Overtaker. So I'm going to tip Overtaker. Yeah,
and you've got 2 quite long straights, which will help the Mustangs grunt, even though the BOP is more strict this season, or not, isn't it, on the Mustang? If I remember rightly.
Yes, it's... in fact, we could take a look. I've just turned the exposure down, so if that's a bit better. Yeah, there is Overtaker. Minus 13 kilograms of ballast, but a 19% restrictor to go with it. You see there, Leger running minus 12 on the Lamborghini. The Porsche carries 24. Matt Wright plus 6 in the Ferrari, plus 2 for the McLaren, plus 5 for the M4. Lexus loses 40. The Honda loses 7. So... going to be an interesting one. I think going to be a bit of an up and down race to see what happens in this one. Rob Smith, evening Chris, thank you again for the F on Sunday. Really enjoyed it. Wainwright says good luck to the Momentum boys tonight, also for Butcher and Castro. And Stothard says good luck Momentum boys as well. So Leger, your man, who will start on pole position in this race. And we are about halfway through this current formation lap in what could be a huge deciding race for these championships or a huge deciding week for these championships going into Donington Park next week. It could really change for Donington Park, and the weather that we had a look at a little earlier on looks a little interesting on Thursday evening. But this is Pro, and no doubt that'll change to Wednesday and the Pro boys will get it lucky. But it does look a little interesting for the Pro guys at the moment.
It needs to be moist.
Well, we at least got a wet race in the other week with Who Darren Cup. Got 2 wet races at Kyle Army last week, which was nice to see. So yeah, let's see what they can get out of this one tonight. Going to be a tough race. I have no doubt. Tyres in that feature race, Phil. 60-minute feature. The tyres could be interesting. 26 degrees track temp. That should touch around 27, 28, tyres are going to be an option, aren't they? They've surely got to be an option because this is a track which really hurts your tyres.
Yeah, because you've got camber and swoopy corners and heavy braking zones as well.
It's that first sector, isn't it? The first sector with the S's until you get towards the back straight. And then you've got that little Hockenheim, Istanbul sort of section, which will also hurt the tyres a lot. So, yeah, tyres are going to be taken. And don't forget, if you're new to watching, it's a 25-second fixed pit stop. For fuel, tyres aren't mandatory, but will we see drivers take that extra 5 seconds for tyres? It's 20.
Not in the sprint.
Not in the sprint. No, you won't see that in the sprint race. This race, it is a pit stop of 59 seconds because that is the time for in and out with your 25. Let's see what happens. Does this league have the 25-second minimum pit stop time? Indeed it does, as we're about to get ready to go racing here for the first time this afternoon, or this evening should I say. Leger from Overtaker on pole position. It's green and go for round number 17 of the season, and up the hill they come. Leger side by side with Overtaker, who breaks a little later than Patrick. Leger turns in towards that hairpin turn number 1. Radic tries to tuck underneath. Overtaker off the circuit, rejoins alongside Leger and now gets up the inside, coming through turn number 2. Leger a little wide, that's put Radic side by side with him and into the S as they go, and the Balkan Sybil team take the lead already, and there's dramas in the background, but for who? Multiple yellow flags flying, one of them being Ben Rook, the championship challenger at the moment.
I think it was one of the MSA cars.
Yeah.
It wasn't Sylph, because Sylph is still carbon.
Yeah, Sylph's up to P9. Rizalski looked like he was involved as well, so I'm wondering if it was Carlos, the man who was in that mix. And this is the championship battle in the gold category. Cairns up the inside, bit of hip and shoulder between him and Vitas. Cairns gets through, up the inside of Vitas he goes, and in the background, Langley's attacking the back of Manavola. In the 2 Ferraris, Cardno waiting in the wings. Vitas now took straight into Cairns' slipstream as they come down the back straight, but it's Butcher who leads in the gold championship so far. The 15 has returned to the pit lane. That is Castro, so his race has been run already. That'll be a terrible race 1 recovery for him to have to try and sort out. Back there is also more dramas down at this hairpin. That's Radic who was second place, as there goes Manavola and Langley well off the circuit to avoid him. Cardno's going to pick up 2 in the background. He only picks up the 1. Manavola stays just in front. Clouden, poor start for him. Gillies down the order, as was Schmidt. It was Carlos who must have been involved with Ben Rook. Huge damage, and Rizalski. And that is not what them two needed, with Self being up in P8.
Oh, yeah. Ben's car looks absolutely
knackered.
Fit for the scrapyard,
yeah.
I should say.
It does indeed. Matt Wright to the outside of Patrick Leger, and this is going to allow Dan Davis to have a run underneath. Dan's got a bit of damage on the side. Hibbs into the pit lane. There's also one of the McLarens. I think that's Butcher coming into the pits as well. Yes, indeed it is. And Dan got past Matt Wright there, so he's now on the back of Patrick Leger. The Lexus good in a straight line. We know that Dan struggled last time in the Lexus here. Richard Bettison said it wasn't overly great last night as well. And Dan to the inside of Leger in towards turn 1. Dan gets the move done. Comar's attacking that of Matt Wright and gets that move done as well. And now Messino leads in the Gold Championship whilst the others are in the pits. Cairn stays out, so does Vitas and Langley. Clouden also stayed out, as did Carlos and Radic. But we've got Rizalski, Rook, Gilly, Schmidt, Cardno, Manavola, Butcher and Hibbs all into the pit lane as we say good evening to Swindlemac. What is happening further forward? Mike's up to second place, so a real good start for Mike Matthews.
Yeah, I think he avoided the chaos, but he's about 3 seconds behind Overtaker. And Sylph is now P3, about 2.5 behind Mike. And there's Dan in the Lexus.
Yeah, Dan's going to have to try and catch up to Sylph, and that'll be crucial for that Constructors' Championship at the moment. So 59 seconds for a stop, that's normal. Chris said Gillies hit into Schmidt and then hit him again, and they went off. So I wonder if that's what happened to Rizalski and Ben. But this is Matt Wright at the moment trying to attack Leger with Comot, with Messino in gold, trying to attack the back of him, and Messino pulls out to have a look on Matt right now, down into the hairpin at the bottom of the circuit. Matt thought of a look up the inside of Leger, bit of hip and shoulder. They're still side by side and together at the moment, and Matt right now is going to try and hold it on the inside line into the Hockenheim sort of stadium section. Manages to stay in front. They've got Cairns on the back of them with Vitas and Langley at the moment. Then comes Cloud and Carlos with Comar, who's dropped down the order a little bit, trying to get past Carlos. Then there's Radic. Hibbs, your net pit leader from Butcher, Manavola, Cordno, Schmidt and Rosowski. Ben still in the pit lane at the moment, and we have lost Castro from the race. He's just messaged me. His camera has gone awful since the incident. He couldn't see anything on the track. His camera has turned. He's resetting the router, so for some reason something has glitched out on his end, and Vitas has had a moment. Just as I was reading Discord, Vitas has had a moment on the pit entry, and he's dropped behind Langley, and only Langley at the moment. What happened there, I do not know.
Probably trying to pit and lost it. Oh, the replay's normally glitch out for me. Dan Davis currently with the fastest lap of the race after 10 minutes.
Yeah, he is indeed. And this is Comar attacking the back of Self. I've just got the stream next to me now. I've just took it back a little bit too far, if anything. And we can just see what's happened in a moment. So Massino comes into the pit lane. And what does Vitas do? Vitas goes to go into the pits. Oh no, just overshoots it. And overshoots it, can't reverse back, has to wait for the traffic to go, and back on track he comes. So he's just overshot the pit entry, and luckily enough missed the wall. Did Hibbs get past Messino? We know that if you're coming through...
Messino's in the pits.
He's just coming out at the moment, as is Clouden. They're both exiting. Wait for the P to disappear next to their name. Hibbs is coming up the start straight now. Will he get out of Messino? Yes, he will, comfortably. What about Butcher then? And what about Manavola? Well, Messino's off the limiter. There he is in the background. Cordno has also got past. So has Schmidt. So Schmidt hasn't. He's got Clouden. Hasn't done that of Messino though. So through they all go. Ben Rook showing that he's a lap down. He's not actually a lap down yet. He's just got to cross the start line. But that's going to hurt his championship standings as it is already. Matt Wright now still attacking the back of Leger. And they've got Keynes for company. And like you say, Dan Davies fastest lap of the race at the moment, Phil.
Yeah, I'm on helicopter cam because the camera angles are terrible for COTA. They really are. Not as bad as Project Cars 2's cameras, remember them? Yeah.
Where they just disappear and you wouldn't see anything apart from a marshal's post, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember them days.
Around Catalonia normally it was...
I remember them days. We've got Messino on Schmidt here down in 17th and 18th place at the moment. Benny Varga, good evening. He says, good evening, legendary comms duo. Well, thank you very much, Benny Varga, for the kind words there. Good evening to the Pro-Am champion at the moment as it still stands. Matt Wright still attacking the back of Leger. Langley's now attacking the back of Keynes. We've got Comar on the back of Carlos. We've got Manavola attacking Butcher, but this fight is your closest one. Schmidt on the back of Messino at the moment, down in towards the hairpin at the bottom end of the circuit. Through the back straight they go. All stays as it is at the moment then. So Ben Rook's got a lot of work to do. He's coming towards the back straight now as car 48 of Rosowski is coming into the Hockenheim section. So Ben Rook's going to lose out on a few points. Wright is closer to Leger now though, so let's have a look at what Matt Wright can do. This is going to be an interesting one then. Down through the S as they go. He's really close to the back of the Lamborghini. Overtaker's not checking out up front. He's comfortably up front at the moment. And Sylph starting to gain on Mike Matthews. Mike would love a podium here this evening. Matt Wright's just lost a bit of time to Leger on the exit of the S's. Now onto the back straight they go. What's the Ferrari got?
Well, if it's a hypercar, a lot.
And if it's a Formula 1 car?
Not much.
Yeah, not so much.
If it was a Formula 1 car from 2004, everything.
We've got a good train here at the moment. Hibbs has got Butcher within a second of him, who's got Manavola 7/10 behind him, and Cordno 8/10 off the back of him. Clouden's gaining on the back of Messino now as Schmidt has got clear, and through he goes. And Matt Wright's brought Keynes to play. Back to Matt Wright and Patrick Leger. Keynes waiting in the wings in the background. Matt Wright at the moment just looking to start to attack. Sylph's now within 8/10 of a second of Mike Matthews. So Mike's going to have to start thinking of pitting or trying to defend for himself. Good evening to Paul Williams in the chat. He says, good to see an FPN in the comms box. Indeed it is. Great to have Phil with us throughout this evening tonight. Carlos has got Comar attacking him. No, he hasn't, because Comar's got ahead of him. So Comar's got that job done. And has Clouden got Messino yet? No, he hasn't. Cordno, Manavola, Butcher and Hibbs stay as they are. But Leger and Wrighty into the pits.
The sign's been knocked out, by the way, on my screen anyway.
Oh, that'll be difficult. Oh, yeah, Leger's got it in front of him. I can see him pushing it down the pit lane there. Patrick Leger, if we go onto the helicam, there it is. Look, the sign is on the front of his car. So he has taken out the pit limit sign going through in this one. I'm sure the others will thank him for that, who's yet to make their pit stops then in this race. Yeah, Taker, Mike, Zilf, Dan, Keynes, Langley. The others, I'm sure, will be absolutely loving that one. Vitas, then, currently third in gold at the moment, but where will he come out regards to Hibbs when Vitas decides to pull the trigger in the pits? Hibbs is still your net pit leader. Leger has now gone green as Hibbs is through the long right-hander. And last night, if he was coming through that corner and the other driver went green, they should get out the pits in front of you. So I'm expecting Leger to be out ahead of Hibbs. Matt Wright, I'm not so sure. Carlos and Radic, definitely not.
I think they're inside each other. They are inside each other on my screen.
Who, Leger and Wright?
Yeah,
oh, there we go. They're off the limiter. They're powering up the start straight. There goes Hibbs. Where is Leger and Wright? Hibbs has just got them both done. So Hibbs has done enough to get ahead of Leger and Matt Wright. Butcher under attack from Manavola there. Cardno not getting the best of exits. So we've got a heck of a train sat behind Hibbs now of Leger and Matt Wright added to it from what it was a little earlier. Sylph within half a second of Mike Matthews right now.
Battle for the second step of the podium, but all these guys have got to pit.
They have indeed. 4.5 minutes left, and yeah, the pit line comes up, the finish line comes up before some of the pit boxes. So they can't leave it until the very end at the moment.
No, so we'll take a stand out. No,
Mike pits. Mike's in. So Mike Matthews into the pit lane. He comes. Who is that now in the pits? That's Castro back in. So great to see. So Mike boxes for the undercut over Sylph.
Fastest lap.
Well, that'll help Ben Ruck out with an extra point or two. There it is, the fastest lap coming up on the screen now. And this is Butcher on the back of Matt Wright. Wright, he goes to defend on that inside line. He was attacking Leger. Leger's now trying to attack the back of Hibbs. Matt Wright defends from Butcher. Coming in towards the hairpin at the bottom of the back straight. Butcher bounce over the sausage curb a little bit there. This has brought Cardno back into play. And Schmidt is not a million miles away. Cloudenslow on the back of Messina. And where is Ruck to Radic? Radic has just left the straight as Ben's just about to enter it. Mike's still in the pit lane. When will he go green over that of Hibbs? Let's wait and see. He's been in for a while now. And Hibbs is coming through the Istanbul corner. He's just gone green. So this will be close with Leger, Hibbs and Mike Matthews here, Phil.
Yeah, right in the thick of it. I'm going back to helicopter cam so I can see the other cars, but it's not the best either. I'll be honest. I've forgotten how bad some of the cameras are.
Where is Mike now? He's off the limiter. Hibbs is only just coming across the start line. Mike is well in front. Mike's already at turn one, so that is job done for Mike Matthews. But look at this train behind Hibbs, currently 4 P9. So Mike is your net pit leader in this one. And this is going to be an interesting one to see. Cloudenslow on the back of Messino has a look up the inside into turn one. No, he doesn't back out of that. But these two are quickly going to be on this train of cars as well. Butcher still attacking that of Matt Wright. But your leader at the moment, Overtaker, 3.5 seconds clear of Sylph with Dan Davis up to third. Cairns, Langley, Vitas are your top three in the Gold Championship. And Komar running seventh overall. They're all still to pit. As Varga says, Wonder will have the first drive-through. I don't know if we're going to see one in this first race, if I'm going to be honest with you, Benny. I don't think we're going to see one. I think they're all being well behaved at the moment.
If you get one in a 15-minute race, you need to give your head a wobble. Overtake the locked his rear, slowing down for the speed limit.
So hopefully he's got that one slowed down in time. Overtaker Sylph in. I'm expecting Dan in. No, Dan's gone for one more. Oh, that's a risk. He should be able to start the final lap in the pit lane, but that is a risk. Langley has also stayed out. Okay. Right then. So that's a risk. Matt Wright's now looking to the outside of Patrick Leger through the bottom end of the back straight. Can't do anything there. Benny Varga, 3 warnings in the first 10 minutes. Was funny yesterday. So there we go. Benny Varga was nearly one driver who got that one. Schmidt now on the back of Cardno.
You get a paddling if you got that, Benny.
This is Carlos and Radic going at it for 19th and 20th at the moment. Radic looking up the inside.
Taker is already moving.
Next corner. Taker's away.
So is Sylph.
Oh, Radic close.
Sylph's right behind Taker.
Right, where's Mike Matthews then? Because they're not yet off the limiter. We did see when they went green compared to Mike Matthews. Mathew's now coming down the start. Stop, go penalty for Overtaker. So he didn't get it done in time. Sylph has just come off the limiter. So has Mike stayed ahead of Sylph for what could be the lead of this race? No, he has not. Sylph is in front and Overtaker's got himself a stop go. Keynes has come out ahead of Hibbs as well. So Keynes is your net gold leader. Where is Vitas? Right in the pack behind Schmidt, ahead of Cardno. So Keynes and Vitas have got a lot of cars between them. And they'll both get past Overtaker because he has got to do a stop-go 30. You said it looked tight, Phil. Well, it was tight.
It was beyond tight. It was past it. Just how that car reacted and Taker's on a pad.
Yeah.
As well.
Contact, sorry Phil, contact between Radic and Carlos. Carlos rejoined off the circuit into the side of Radic. Radic kept going. Carlos went into a slide but managed to keep it pointing the right way. Can Cardno get Vitas? That'll be huge for this Gold Championship, especially. Matt Wright still on the back of Patrick Leger. Where's Dan Davis? He's into the pit lane now. 13 seconds to go. He's got to get across the start-finish line, start the final lap. Otherwise Langley will be in trouble. Dan is in, so that is job done. Mike now fighting Sylph for potentially the win of this race. We'll keep our eyes on this fight a moment and work out where Dan is. But Dan has started one last lap here. And it's given Overtaker the chance to do his stop-go penalty.
That was squeaky bump of Dan leaving it that late to pit. Not going to lie.
No, it was very, yeah.
That was very squeaky.
He was, what, about 7 seconds from missing it, I think it was?
Yeah. And because he triggered it, that enabled Langley to get in, and so Dan is away.
Dan is now moving. Sylph is coming through the final corner, but I think Sylph should stay in front here. Overtaker is not doing his stop-go 30. So he will carry a bigger penalty at the end of this race. So Overtaker then is not doing the stop-go 30. Dan's got a drive-through for speeding in the pits. Did he come out ahead of Sylph? Yes, no, he didn't. But no. Dan has now got himself a drive-through. Where's Keynes? Up the hill he goes. Where's Hibbs? He comes up the hill. Where's Butcher? Is he behind Langley? Just behind Langley. So Langley stays currently on the podium. And he's now ahead of Vitas as well. That is crucial for the Gold Championship.
I was watching Dan and thinking, oh, that's got to be close to speed limit. But it is only a drive-through. Overtaker must have been higher.
Yeah, it must have been well over the limit for Overtaker. Comore's back in the pits. That's going to drop him down a couple of places. That will allow Ben Rook to get through. Stardog's got him for race 2, so that's good to see. He won't score any points for this one. Neither will Castro. They didn't take to the start. And Matt Wright, is he now going to sacrifice a place for his teammate in this Gold Championship, I wonder? Mike's still within 9/10 of Sylph, but I don't think that's going to happen. Dan now, this could put Keynes, by the way, on the podium. A gold driver on the outright podium.
Yeah, but Benny, Dan's was for speeding, not for track limits.
Yeah, so it doesn't really count because it's not a track limits one. Monkey Boy did not get, Andrew Taylor that is, did not get a drive-through. He's saving them all for next week at Donington Park.
PMR, we're going back to PlayStation and Xbox names.
We're not even going to go there with PMR at the moment. I'm not getting into that conversation.
Should be released next year?
Yeah, easily. Butcher has got Manavola creeping all over the back of him. Vitas has still got Cardno and Messino for company. Does not need to get involved in anything here. But Sylph is about to come to the line. I say Sylph. Overtaker's about to come to the line to take the win on the road. He will be getting, though, a penalty to his name for that stop-go 30. He has not done. Overtaker, I kind of get why he's tried to keep that gap as big as possible. Where will he come out? 60-second penalty. Sylph wins from Mike Matthews. And with Dan Davis's 30-second time penalty, that is going to go the way of Keynes for P3. Hibbs on the podium in the gold as well. Leger up to 7th. Leger will actually be 3rd in gold in the platinum category, technically. So that'll be a podium for him. In that one, with Langley in 3rd place in gold, then Matt Wright, Butcher, Manavola, Vitas came home in 12th, then Cardno, Messino, Clouden, Rizalski, Radic, Carlos, and we just await Schmidt, who is out of fuel before the final couple of corners. That's going to give Ben Rook a couple more points.
Yeah, and anyone going to give him a McLaren a push? Anyone?
Well, I don't know, because Gillies may also gain a couple of points here for getting past. Great result for Keynes, says Wainwright. Indeed, it is a good result for Keynes, as it is a overall podium for a gold driver. The first time this season in the GT3s we've seen a different class driver take the overall podium. And Schmidt's going to try and roll this one into the pit lane to get this one home.
It's probably the best downhill section, really.
I'd have said so. Yeah, you've got to go a little uphill though in the pits.
Oh,
look,
no,
he's not going to do it.
He's not going to do it.
And it's
bounce
stopped.
in the car. Come on, bounce up and down.
Literally 1 litre of fuel too late. So Gillies will pass Schmidt at the end of this race, as Schmidt has not been able to get enough fuel in the car. So that should be Gillies to take home P20. Well, we'll see, actually, because the leaders got themselves a penalty, so we'll see what happens there. But here comes Gillies towards the line now, and that'll be race number 1 in the bag and job done. And we'll be right back very shortly with the qualifying and race number 2. Back very soon. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport as we get ready to go for the first qualifying of the evening. What a race it has been already so far. The championship standings look as follows. Sylph has extended his championship lead to 92 points over Razalski, 100 to Ben. It's 199 to Schmidt, O'Reilly 224. He will be out of it tonight with not racing, and Dan Davis just on the course for 260 behind. Then it's Diesch 7th, Comore 8th, Cloud in 9th, Mike's up to 10th with Bolton 11th, Carlos 12th, Matt Wright 13th, Skunky 14th, and McGowan, Williams, Radic, Leger, Overtaker and Mezin. In the Gold Championship, that has come down. 65 points is the gap. Vitas to Keynes at the moment. Langley's got it down to 102. 260 points up for grabs, so it's going to still take a lot for Langley to get back into this one. And for Keynes, really, 65 points is still a long way to go when there's still so many good drivers out there on that circuit. Hibbs is up to 4th now in gold with Manavola 5th. Then it's Cordno, Messino, Harris. From then DeCourt, and then Butcher can now not win it, neither can Watkowiak, Castro, Ramsel, Clace, Stardog, Jimenez, Smith and Gillies. And then down in the Constructors' Championship, 136 points. Sylph on his own extended the gap for MSA Racing over Team Audio Sport and Momentum Motorsport, who are still in it. Cloud9 stay 4th, Racing Softs are 5th. The big climbers is Quantum Motorsport up to 6th, head of MSA Autosport and the casual SimPlay Racing move up to 9th, head of Team GBR. Blaze Motorsport from Utopia Motorsport, Balkan Sim up, Greasy Bandits Racing and Bearded Racing down in 15th. A lot of chat going off during the mid-session break. Chris saying, oh man, it's the last race next week already. Indeed it is, sadly. Great result for Ken, says Wainwright, Benedict Volger. I'm more than happy where I am, but I'm going to miss the Pro-Am field though, says Benny. As Bad to Book, I'm not sure who that one is, who says happy with that one.
It might be Mike. Is it Mike?
I don't know if it is Mike.
I don't know why YouTube's done showing just a username, not your display name again.
It is Mike. That is Mike's username, apparently. So, yeah, that one is Mike. Sam Williams says, I'll do my best to get back to you quick, Benny. Rob Smith, I'm looking forward to next Thursday, finding out what car I'll be driving next season. Not sure if I'll stick with the 720, says Sam. PNU said, get back in the Bentley. Chuck all the cars in the hat and see what you pull out. More fun that way. I know that's what Rob Smith actually does. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Good evening to Peaceful Stepdad as well. And if you haven't done so already, do hit that thumbs up button if you like what's here on the stream. Hit subscribe if you are new to the channel and hit the bell to be notified, as well as check out our fantastic sponsors, Design Manchester's, who are producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing and much more, including SimPlay Motorsport merchandise. And check out Audio Sport, manufacturer of VW Transporter, T4 audio solutions and styling products. Head over to www.audiosport.co.uk. We are, though, into this qualifying session. Ben is about to set another lap time here, and then the 229 will put one in of Keynes, who must have invalidated his first run. Ben, currently your man on pole by 48 thousandths of a second from Vitas so far. So a good qualifying lap from Vitas. Does Ben extend that gap? No, he does not. Where does Keynes go? He's already crossed the line, so I've missed that one. We're going to have to check out the 31 of Hibbs as Langley moves up to 4th with Dan now top of the timing screen. Here comes Hibbs. Can Hibbs improve up the order? He goes to 10th. What can Razalski do? He's been the man to beat in practice all week long. Can Razalski get up the order? Yes, he can. Puts 2.5 tenths between himself and Dan Davis. The 135 of Matt Wright. We're going to miss him. Where is Sylph? There's Schmidt now, yeah, goes up into P1. So a good lap from Schmidt there. Here comes Sylph. He moves into 6th place. And we're now going to try and find the 28 of Messino. Currently 14th at the moment. Moves up into 12th. Next man on a valid lap, Patrick Leger. What can he do? The man who took out the pit board, for those who are listening in race 1. What can he do in this second race now? Will he be able to work his way up the screen? Up the timing towers. Goes up to 12th at the moment. Car number 77 is next. That is Overtaker. 7 tenths off the pole. Stop-go penalty in race number 1. He goes within a tenth in qualifying at the moment. Car 7, that is Cardno. Trying to move up the order also. Can he do that? Can he get himself up inside the top 15? No, just outside it in P16 then. The 355 of Butcher is next to the line. And he moves up to P18. Stardog will then be the next to cross. He's P20 at the moment. Can he find some more time this lap to get up the order before we head back to Ben Rook? Next man on a valid lap. Sylph just come out the pit lane, start one more run. The 98 of Radic is back in the pits. Could be a good qualifying this, though.
Cloudon's yet to set a lap as well. Yeah, quite a quiet race one.
Yeah, he did. I don't know if he got involved in that lap 1 shenanigans with everybody. But he was down the order. Here comes Rook, rounds the final corner. And what can Ben Rook do? Next man on a valid. It was meant to be Dan Davis, but he's just invalidated. Ben Rook moves back up into second place. Mike Matthews now next on a valid. What can Mike do here?
Happy with P2.
Oh, ecstatic. Yeah, he will be ecstatic. Moves up to 6th. Great qualifying lap from Mike. Here comes Comore. 23rd at the moment. Can Comore go up the order? He does. Up into P13. Here comes Schmidt. Currently on pole. Backs out of his lap there. No improvement. The 28 is next. That is Messino. Before the 57 of Manavola. So where all the 2 Italian drivers end up on the grid. Still just over 5 minutes left.
Yeah, Cloudon's now coming around the Istanbul corner. So
yeah, who's
I
the
believe
next
he's still
one
valid.
on a valid? That
Cloudon?
would be. It is Cloudon. So let's see where Jamal can go. He set a PB in the practice session. So can he replicate that now? Where will he go? Crosses the line. Only 16th fastest at the moment, so he's got a little bit of work to do. Next car on a valid lap is Dan Davis. There's a lot of cars coming around, but Dan's the next man on a valid lap, all the way on the back straight at the moment, Phil.
Yeah, it's just... No, nice thing, we're at the end of the season, they've still got over 20 cars.
Yeah, me and Kelly were saying this last week. You know, recent seasons, we've got to this point, and, you know, we've struggled to get 15 on the grid. It's great to see over 20 cars now.
And it must be bad when you start talking about food, even in a 1 hour race.
Exactly. I don't think we'll get any of that tonight. Me and Langley, it was full of action last night. I think it's going to be the same here, for sure. But Dan's the one man we're watching at the moment.
I think Benny needs to run 166 next season as his number.
I like what you've done there. Let's see what Benny... He says he's going to stay with a BM, but I always think that's wise if a driver comes up from Pro-Am to stick with a car they know. Because then at least they've got a good feeling for it. So far, the top 3 are all within a 10th of each other. Here comes Dan Davis towards the line. Any improvement? Finds it. Goes pole 2051.
2 temps up from Schmidt.
Hibbs next to the line. 1.2 off the pole. Does not improve. Next man on a valid. Car 15. That is Castro down the order in 21st.
Who is he on?
Carlos is yet to set a valid lap time. Was there anybody actually on qualifying ban tonight? Let's take a look. Ramsel and Class. Ramsel had a race 1 ban as well, but he's not here to serve them, so he'll carry them through to Donington Park next week.
Yep, and if not, it'll be next season.
Exactly. Yeah, 100% next season.
I still remember that rule from Stewardon for many seasons. So let's see. The 15's crossed the line.
Yeah, Castro's gone 21st. Next car is Cardno. Car 7. Now, the problem at the moment I've noticed a lot this season and last season, drivers who's just done an outlap, their numbers is still light blue. So I don't know if we've got that many validated laps on the track at the moment or what. So we have to keep your eyes out.
A couple of seasons now.
Yes. Yeah. It doesn't go grey until they've done their first flying lap. Well, here comes Cardno. And he stays 19th place. We're kind of in that lull where drivers don't really improve. And then it all happens in the last couple of laps. Rapid times here, says Stothard. 2051, indeed it is. What is the qualifying lap record in Pro? It is a 2038 set by Overtaker. We aren't getting anywhere near them times tonight. But that is rapid from Overtaker back in the day. Now
was
then,
it
Ben Rook.
This or
it was on this. Was on this. Now then, Ben Rook, what can you do? Can you get any closer? Yeah, you need to find just under 3 tenths. Rounds the final corner now. Here comes Ben Rook. Oh, finds a 10th and a bit. Goes second place. It's Audio Sport locking out the front row. Where's Hibbs then next to the line in the Greasy Bandits car? Benny Varga says, but I do want to at least do a little Jag reference livery-wise. That's back from his pro days in the Jag. The last time Benny Varga was in pro, as Damien Hibbs there bunny hops over the exit sausage curbs. And now the next car on a valid lap is the 225. of
That'll
Langley.
be Langley.
And he's on the back straight, so we've got a bit of time before he sets a lap. Team boss says it's okay. We'd love to see the Jag on the grid. There you go, Rob Smith, then. Get the Jag out. Berserker saying, yeah, that's close. Well, it's a second covering the top 16, so really close at the moment.
Ben's done. He's in the pits.
Right, so Ben Rugg will not get pole position. Dan's just commented, so is Dan in the pits? He is.
He is.
Dan has said
that
there is nothing left in that, so that is all Dan's got. Are we going to see a 2:04 to break Dan's pole time?
Schmidt splits him.
Yeah, Schmidt within 600ths and crucially gets one more lap in. So Schmidt was one of them on an invalid lap, it said, but then crossed the line valid. At least Dan's got pole early, so I haven't got a shout at the very end, Phil, and Duffin you.
God, I almost forgot that after a couple of seasons.
Yeah. Right. Langley round the final corner. He's currently third in the gold qualifying at the moment. Vitas is on pole. Langley doesn't improve, and that's going to be Langley done in qualifying. Here comes Silf. Silf moves up into P5 and gets one more run in. Who's next? The 98. That is Radic. Rob Smith saying that the Jag will be in the hat. You never know. Oh, that'd be brilliant if Rob Smith pulled out the Jag.
Yeah, but coming to an end of a stint on the endurance race around Bathurst, the Jag didn't like the elbow.
I drove the Jag in the Monza fun events we did, and I actually really enjoyed it. The Lexus maybe for pole at COTA. When the Lexus has struggled at COTA, Radic goes 7th. Next car, Mike Matthews, which will be the first man to complete qualifying. Half a second Mike's need. It's not a lot when you think about it, but it's absolutely an eternity, and he's bailing to the pits.
Bailing.
Mike is done. He also hit the pit wall. Hibbs is also done, so he won't improve. Overtaker in the 77. Could it be roles reversed? Could Overtaker take Dan's pole at the very end? 0.380 of a second for Overtaker to find over Dan Davis. Does he do it? No. P4 for Overtaker right now. The 355 is next. It would have been lovely if Overtaker had done roles reversed. And we're not shouting about Dan taking pole from Overtaker. We're shouting about Overtaker taking pole from Dan. Butcher moves up to 19th. That's Matt Wright. Where did he go? He stays P12 in this one. The 229 is coming to line. That is Cairns. Can Cairns take pole away from Vitas? He does. Goes P5. Does Cairns. Heck of a lap. Schmidt's coming round as well. There's a couple of cars just in front. Comore improves into P9. Can Schmidt find that small time to take pole? He does! He finds exactly the same time as what Dan had over Schmidt. And Schmidt takes pole position at the end. The 48 of Rosowski. He's not done yet. Does he take pole? No. Now we turn to the 28 of Messino. Schmidt takes pole position here at COTA.
Lexus denied.
Lexus denied, and Silf still on a lap time as well. Messino moves up to 15th place. What can Silf do in this race? Can he find... Sorry, in this qualifying session, can he take pole? He does! A 2:04.9! Silf at the death takes pole position. And now, can Vitas take pole back from Cairns? You've missed it, really. You've missed it, really. John's just said maybe no pole for the Lexus. Dan's just said, damn, here comes Vitas to try and take pole in the gold category. Can Vitas do it? Is it going to be pole in gold? No. Second place for Vitas, but P10 overall. Good qualifying from him. Ooh, what a lap. Great qualifying, Phil. Left it all the way to the end, did everybody there?
Yeah, and there'll be one more to go next week. Make sure you're tuning in. Plug. Yeah.
Yeah, one qualifying left in the season, which means one qualifying point left in the season. But crucially, Cairns takes yet another point out of Vitas' championship there by getting that pole position in the gold category. So what a lap there from him. Dan drops to third at the end. Ben Rook fourth. So it's an Audio Sport row 2. Silf on pole. That's an extra point for him. That eliminates Dan from this championship competition. Now, with that point there for Silf. Just going through the current stats at the moment to get everybody's lap times on the board. Castro was 21st. Big jump down to Cloud. 14th. Cardno was 20th. Comor 9th. Good qualifying from him. Schmidt P2. Overtaker 5th. Radic 8th. Not bad for the Porsche. Butcher 19th. Carlos 24th. Messino 15th. Menavola 18th. Who are you going for, Phil?
I don't know. Who am I going to curse this time? Because I think we did with Overtaker, didn't we? Whoops.
We did a little bit. Right, Cairns. 4 pole positions for Cairns this season. That puts him tied now with NJ Littleleach, Laney, Keegs, Jem Grill, Cobb, Leon Fernie, Cobb is Cardno, should I say, Leon Fernie, Kelly, Bryn, Sekulovic, Hansen, Friedman, and Langley, all on 4 pole positions. Whoa, right, we're about to get underway for the formation lap.
It
was Suzuka.
Everyone else invalidated.
Benny Vargas has a 204, is mind-blowing. Craig Stothard, it's all going on again. Crazy, says Sam Williams. Langers is in a good position. Let's go Langers. Langers. Right. Who are you going for the win again, Phil? Sorry?
The stewards. No one says it. That's you and Kieran, is it?
And Rob Smith. And Rob Smith. Yeah. Do you know what? I kind of fancy Schmidt for this one.
Yeah. Well, Sylph's further up now, so he might not be involved with whatever happened in race 1 in the mid pack, because it was definitely looked like a BM was losing it. Oh, next season I'll be able to say Benny Varga in Pro.
Just try and remember as well the gold results, because I will ask you for a gold and a platinum driver of the day. Right. Cairns again, look. Couple of cars between him and Vitas. That's exactly what you would have wanted. So Danny's now out the running. And Cairns gets that gap down to 64 points to Vitas. Ooh, this is going to be close.
No, I don't think the steward's room's missing me at all, Benny. Because I'm not missing it.
To be fair, we've not had many tickets this year. It's been quite a good season for tickets. Let's see what happens.
There's a warm-up, everything. Hour-long race. Track temp's 26. That'd be nice to have a rain shower that appears out of nowhere once it, soak the circuit. A little bit of chaos, that's what we want.
Oh, that'd be lovely. No rain forecast, sadly, but that would be,
not those be one-offs. And I can't drive. I haven't done any practice.
Yeah, and also, he's not allowed inks. It's the end of the season.
It's the end of the season. I won't be able to start.
Imagine you in the Bron class now. Yeah, chance of winning that.
No. I think I need all the assists back.
In the Jag?
God, no.
Save the rain for Donny, says Benny Varga. Andrew Taylor says, now you've said it. Save the rain for Donny. I don't think Andrew will be wanting the rain for Donny. He finds that chicane difficult enough as it is. He'll be wanting it nice and dry. As we come towards the final corner then, Dan's lined up alongside Sills, but he'll have to drop back because that is not his grid box. Forecast looks interesting for next week. Rain around for the Thursday race, but it's Pro, so that'll probably get pushed back to Darren Cup or Pro-Am. But that'll make the constructors spicy. Right, round 18. 3 races left to go. And the penultimate feature race of the season, the final of COTA. For Season 9 for 2025 of COTA. And we are... I've gone too early again.
Yeah, well, the finish line's not where the start line is.
Yeah, but it doesn't go green until they come nowhere near the start line. It's green and go here, though, and it's a good start from Silf up the inside of Schmidt already. Dan's trying to go with them. Ben losing out a little bit to overtake her, it looks like, but Ben's coming back through the outside of the hairpin corner. Going to drop down the order a little bit. Contact. Cairns is off the road. That's could allow Vitas to try and sneak through. Cairns will have the inside line, though. That looked like it was Langley or Matt Wright getting involved with it as well. Not sure which one it was, and Vitas takes the lead from Cairns in the gold category. Now then, that's huge for the championship. It was, I believe, Matt Wright who's dropped down the order because Langley is still just in there. It was Matt Wright who's dropped down the order. He's tumbled down to 18th place. Everybody's through, though, clean as a whistle this time, Phil.
It was a bit cleaner. Second race went up, but then again, this is COTA. It's circuit.
So coming down towards the back straight, there you go. Vitas ahead of Cairns in that gold championship. Langley's got Clouden attacking the inside line of him, coming down in towards the first of the hairpins. Mike's going to send one up the inside of Clouden. Langley turns in, but it's not onto Clouden that, because Mike Matthews was up the inside of Jamal, and now Langley rejoins into Radic, into Clouden, into Langley, and then Langley hangs on to it. Clouden is around, and that all come from the Mike. Send it down in the inside of the start straight, and that is bad news for Clouden. For fourth place in this Constructors, Hibbs is going side by side further with somebody in the background. That is Carlos. He is side by side with three wide with Castro as well. Hibbs up the inside. Carlos into the side of Cardno. Hibbs spins round Carlos. It's all happening, Phil, later on in the lap.
Yeah, it's all happening where it gets tight and twisty. And not the swoopy part.
Oh, three wide, Leger! Oh. Leger's around, and was that Messino? No, sorry, was it Manavola? It was, who has hit Leger around now as well. So dramas yet again. Radic was three wide coming through the Hockenheim section. They made contact, and off they went. Dan hassling the back of Schmidt early doors. But Myatt's tight at the rear. Rozalski now. Is he thinking of this championship, or is he going to try and help his teammate Cairns? Go on, Davis, says Berserker. It has all gone off down the bottom end of the grid. And Manavola's now tucked in behind Gillies.
That was very squeaky bum, wasn't it?
It was very squeaky bum. Manavola tries to get a better exit than Gillies. Coming down the start-finish straight. Can't do so there. And Leger now tumbles to the back. Where did Langley come? Langley's back up to 14th, so didn't lose out too much. Due to them incidents, as he goes very deep right around the outside, and Butcher forces him off the road, and Langley manages to get ahead of Butcher there. So did Butcher let him have that place back? Cardno was waiting in the wings, and now Matt Wright looks to attack on the back of Cardno as well. John, what an absolute mess. It was an absolute mess indeed. What were you saying about not many tickets? Yeah, kicked myself in the foot there, Rob.
Good luck.
Yeah, cheers. Radic on the back of Mike Matthews now. To be fair, me and Rob will get them done pretty quick. Normally do. Rob types them up and I'll have a look at them when I get a chance. Right, Radic on the back of Mike. This is for 10th and 11th place. Schmidt within a second of Silk. But this is Dan Davis. This is on board that Lexus. Look at the Lexus grunt as we travel on board. Already pulling behind Schmidt. Pulls to the inside. That is going to be the move done from Dan Davis. It looks to be, can he get it stopped under braking? He's already a full car ahead, and Dan gets it done. He's up into second place. Rook has got overtaker putting pressure on him. Then comes Rozalski and Vitas and Cairns from Komar and Mike to round out the top 10. Any other side-by-side bits happening here? Matt Wright up the inside of Cardno. Runs a little deep. That's not going to hurt him too much because it should give him the inside line for the next part of the circuit. Cardno's going to fight it strong around the outside and gets the place back. Does he? Camera's going to pan around. They're not. They're fully side-by-side, but Cardno should have it coming into this section now. Up the inside he goes. Cardno through. Hibbs has a look on the inside of Righty on the exit. Can't do it there. And Hibbs will tuck back in behind.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dan hasn't shaken Schmidt yet. Schmidt's having a look in the final corner. Little look. Tighter line by the McLaren.
And not going to get that one done for Schmidt. Is on Dan Davis there. Cairns dropping a little bit of pace to Vitas at the moment. Vitas, gold and current race leader in the championship and in the race. Rozalski looked a little slow. Vitas gained on him a bit there. So interesting to keep an eye on. Radic still on the back of Mike. We've then got Langley gaining on the back of Messino for third place in gold. Matter with Hibbs as well. Castro not a million miles behind. And down the order, Clouden already gaining on the back of Manavola. Looks like he's got some bad damage to his car. So Clouden looking to make up some time. He's not too far off the back of the trains, is Clouden. He can easily gain on the back of them. Now Overtaker. Now let's go on board Schmidt, because we're coming to the back straight again, Phil, and on board Schmidt, this will be where we see that Lexus manage to create that gap over the McLaren.
It hit its warp drive, won't it?
Here we go.
6th gear, boom, gone.
It's already gone. You can already see it starting to pull away and get smaller in the windscreen. This is looking back from Dan Davis. 7/10 it was. And what will it be by the time they come down to the back end of the straight? Well, Dan's only a second. Oh, Schmidt actually gained a couple of attempts, so not too bad. Overtaker had a look on Ben Rook there. Took the inside, it'll be the outside for the next part, and tucks back in behind. Can't do anything. Rosowski's now within a second of Overtaker as well. Comore is trying to. In fact, Comore's lost out to Mike, and now potentially to Radic, coming through the double right-hander into now the double left. Radic still up the inside, bit of contact. Radic holds on to it, gains the place, and then just behind them two, look, Messino and Langley. With that of Cardno, Butcher and Matt Wright, looked like he was pushing Cardno through the corner. We've pulled away a little bit from Hibbs. Hibbs is coming under pressure from Castro now. And when will Jamal Clouden get past that of Manavola on the back of the Italian driver? Gillies just up the road, and he's only 3.3 off the back of Leger. So Clouden, with that big spin that he had, he's not out of this one at the moment. Comar, though, still is lost out to Radic. But we'll still be trying to fight hard. Schmidt still within 4/10 of Dan. He's not let Dan get away here, but he is pulling away from Overtaker. What's happening, Phil?
Look a bit like a leg bump, because Clouden was nearly inside the back of Manavola, then, but Clouden let him back through. That looked a bit net, Cody.
Fair enough. Carlos has just got ahead of Stardog. So that's another move. There's Cardno. Right, he's dropped off the back of him a little bit. And now we've got this train behind Mike of Radic, Comore, Messino, Langley, and not quite Butcher, sorry. So just Langley at the end of this train. And on the train behind Dan Davis of Schmidt, Rook, Overtaker, Rozalski, Vitas just dropping off the back of Rozalski a little bit. And what was their last lap times on this lap? That is the 500. That is Gillies in the pitch. Yes, so he's had a moment on his own. Because he wasn't really near anybody. Closest fight on the track. Maybe this one here between Langley and Messino at the moment. Butcher getting closer to Langley. And you've got that top set of cars up to Cairns, and then it's a huge gap back to Mike Matthews.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dan is now within a second of Sylph.
So Dan started to bring the gap down to Sylph then. BMW has a weird phase though, doesn't it? Sort of early on in its stint.
Well, BMW had a weird part in the middle of the stint as well,
yeah,
it just was wobbly. But Bentley did exactly the same thing.
Good evening to Dean Wasocki in the chat. Long time no see. Overtaker's closest to the back of Ben Rook. In fact, he may not be now, because it may actually be Rozowski close to the back of Overtaker here then. Let me guess, another comeback on the cards.
Don't make me laugh.
Cairns then. He's within 3/10 of Overtaker, so this now your closest fight on circuit at the moment. Castro 4 attempts off the back of Hibbs, I can see on the timing tower. Overtaker got very close to the back of Ben, and then Rozowski got close on the exit as well. So, you know, within 3/10 of Comore down the order. Honestly, worked out that one in race 1, got torpedoed to the side, lap 2, race 2, just give up. Gillies, mate, the only thing I can say, put some tickets in, we'll get them looked at, buddy, and we'll try and get this sorted out from the stewards as fast as possible. That's the only thing I can really say to you there, Gillies. Just get them tickets in, bud, and the stewards will take a look at them and get them sorted as quick as possible, or over the weekend. And yeah, if they're not reported, we can't really see anything that's happening, because we don't have cameras everywhere that we can see, sadly. So all I can say to you, Gillies, get incidents reported. That is the best thing to go. And I said, is there another comeback? As that's Messino looking up the inside of Comore. Job done. Has Langley got the move now on the exit of the corner? No, he hasn't. What I said was, Dean, is this another comeback on the cards? Is what I actually said. I ain't afraid to say it out loud.
I was watching. Sylph has been defending from Dan.
He has. Dan's got fastest lap, and Langley's now looking up the inside of that of Comor. Yellow flag. Overtaker's got a yellow flag next to his name, so he's tumbled down all the way behind Keynes. So Overtaker's dropped down the standings. Now Langley to the outside of Comor. Can he do it the long way around? Holds it round the outside. Now looks to the inside for the double left-hander. Is he just got it done? Yes, he has. Through he goes. Butcher, Cardno, right. All on the back of Comor now. And like you said, Phil, Dan is now trying to start to maybe attack Sylph a little bit.
Yep. It's like the Lexus is in a good place now, with 11 minutes into the race, roughly.
So the question is, what happened to Overtaker? Does he have any damage? Nothing on the rear that I can see. Can't really tell from the front there. Comor's in for his stop. No damage to Overtaker, so just must have checked the rear again.
For a stop?
No, can't really see. Nope, no pit window this season. No pit window.
So you can pit. So you can pit at last lap again, like Dan did.
Pit whenever you want in race 2. Vitas not letting Rozalski get away here, and this is going to be interesting.
Oh, I would love live stewarding.
The problem with live stewarding, Benny Varga, we'd need stewards.
Are you volunteering?
Yeah. Oh, Vitas, big snap through the left-hander coming over the crest of the hill. Can't get it done there. Yeah, that's the problem with live stewarding. That's the problem with league racing. We need stewards. If we don't have stewards, can't really do the live stewarding. Yeah, so now Vitas, who I just said was sticking to the back of Rozalski, had one little moment, and that's put Keynes on into play here. Going to go back down to, who's at 3/10? Matt Wright on the back of Cardno then. Cloudon's back within 3/10 of Manavola.
Meanwhile, Keynes is having a look inside of Vitas.
This is for the lead of gold, and this could be for the championship in gold as well. So nothing happening there.
Mike's got that's track it's a bit sporadic then. That was way wide out of the hairpin.
I'm just going to look at the lap times a second, and yeah, Vitas Keynes, 4/10 difference last lap. Vitas be a bit slower this lap as well because that moment. Keynes lapping quicker, but not really getting onto the back of Vitas at the moment. Dan's the only
I'm
man
sure
who's been in
Ben
the
will find something to do.
So what is everyone going to do? No F1, no SimPlay. It'll be quiet in my house. Yeah, it's Christmas though. It's Christmas. That's going to be the best thing. And we'll have some events coming up in the new year. That is for sure. That will get streamed and out there as well. So make sure you tune in to any events coming in the new year. We'll get them out as soon as we can. So this is for the lead in gold and the big championship battle out there as well.
John, I'll be plaiting my hair. I think it's about to come back.
If John's plaiting his hair, I might have to plait it for him. What little hair he's got, but I'll plait it for you, John. Don't worry. Said Dan Davis.
I'll tell you what, we'll let Ayrton plait your beard, yeah?
No, that hurts when he pulls on that. He's becoming a terror for that one. He's now scampering across the room and standing himself up, so it's a nightmare at the moment. Dan Davis still within 4/10 of Sylph. This could be tricky for Sylph down this back straight. Let's go on the rear wing of Sylph then. There's Dan, Schmidt and Ben behind.
They're fighting because they're holding each other up because Schmidt and Ben are closer.
They are a lot closer. Jag versus Rhett here around Bathurst, just an idea. Idea denied there, Benny Varga. As here goes Dan Davis, not getting any closer. That Lexus not being able to use its speed. He actually lost 0.2 of a second, did Dan there. We've got Schmidt and Ben Ruck having a squabble. Vitas has still got Keynes for company. He's lost out to Rozalski now. Mr. Championship standings, any chance of a repeat? I'll give you a repeat, Chris. I'll tell you what, Chris, we'll get into a repeat of the championship standings when the pit stops start to happen. There's a little less to talk about at the moment around then. Cloudon's still not got past Manavola. Manavola. Is this Cloudon's time to have a look? Manavola goes onto the marbles to defend. Cloudon comes to the outside line now. You get a feeling that when Cloudon gets past Manavola, he's just going to then be able to propel onto the back of the train in front of him, bouncing over the sausage curbs. Can't do anything there. Castro on the back of Carlos, on the back of Hibbs. Bit of breathing space to Cardno. And then further forward, where's Langley? Not got past Messino either. Overtaker and is starting to get on Cairns at the moment. Rob Smith, that one's also declined as well. And Ben Ruck within half a second of Schmidt at the moment. Closest fight on the track. So while there's not a lot happening actually out there at the moment, Phil, interrupt me if there is. Championship standings is Sylph leads by 93 points to Rosowski, 101 to Ben. Schmidt in 4th place with O'Reilly 5th. Dan Davis is 6th, cannot win the championship. DS 7th. Komar in 8th from Cloud and Mike. Bolton, Carlos, Wright, Skunky, McGowan, Williams, Radic, Leger, Overtaker and Mesin. And in the Gold Championship, it is Vitas from Cairn, 64 points, with Langley, Hibbs, Manavola, Cardno, Messino, Harris, DeCourt, Butcher, Watkowiak, Castro, Ramsel, Clace, Stardog, Jimenez, Smith, and then Gillies. And then down in the Constructors, 137 points between MSA and Audio Sport with Momentum 3rd, Cloud9 4th, Racing Softs, Quantum, MSA, Auto Sport, The Casual, SimPlay Racing, Team GBR, Blaze Motorsport, Utopia Motorsport, Balkan Simub, Greasy Bandits Racing, and then Bearded Racing. So that is your championship standings at the moment. There you
go. And bit of stalemate on track.
Of course it has. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, it's 43 minutes left of the race, of course.
Still a long time. Dan's lost a bit more time to Sylph. Cairns now right on the back of Vitas with Overtaker for company. This is going to be an interesting one.
The problem with that, Rob, Project Cars 2 is not multi-platform. Ginetta GT5's at Le Mans.
What will I be jumping for joy at, Dean? Rob Swift, Project Cars 2, Ginetta GT5s at Le Mans. We're not even going to mention the Ginetta GT5s. Dan Davis will be loving that. And how are we finding PMR? Very mid. At the moment, Chris, unfinished game is what it is. As Ben Ruck's within a 10th of Schmidt. Looks a bit bigger than a 10th.
Can't actually say what you really think.
I think since the first patch, it's became a mid game. There's another patch coming this week. So, yeah. Let's wait and see. Langley within half a second of Mazzino now. Cairns still close to Vitas with Overtaker close behind him. Ooh, Overtaker, a little wiggle through turn 1. Has Clouden got past Manavola yet? No, he has not. Still waiting behind him. Comar's done his stop. Not quite a lap down yet, but he's not far away. The best fight on circuit is this Vitas, Cairns and Overtaker battle.
I'm just checking in on Clouden and Manavola. Manavola kind of defends into the first corner.
Yeah, I've got a feeling when Jamal gets past him, he'll be well away in this one. The MX-5s are the best car to play on Project Motor Race, and I will agree with you. Oh, big slide from Butcher. Big slide from Butcher there. And that could allow Matt Wright to get a bit closer onto the back straight. He was hanging on to that one.
When I hear Butcher, I keep thinking of Rory Butcher from BCCC.
Yeah. Dan's still within 7/10. LMU's coming at the end of next year or the beginning of 27, Benny. Just keep your eyes out for it. From what Project... Chris, this is the thing. From what Project Motor Racing was telling us, we've all fell for the same fault. And I've said it off here. I'll say it on here. The problem with games, and this is all games in general nowadays...
They're not finished.
Back in the day, when you had to buy a disc and there was no digital copies at all, games was finished, they'd get released. If they had bugs, that was it. Whatever. Nowadays, games get released unfinished, and it's... well, this is broke, that's broke, this isn't right, that's not right, and it's, oh, well, we'll fix it, and we'll put a patch out. That is the biggest problem with games nowadays. All are the same. Not just Project Motor Racing, not just Rensport. Assetto Corsa was the same when it first came out. Game developers nowadays released an unfinished game and patch it. And that is the problem with all games. At the moment, same on PC, same on console, same everywhere.
Sometimes they release the game and say, haha, tough. You bought it.
What was the game the other year? Cyberpunk, I think it was. That was terrible. Full of bugs. Full of problems.
Was never going to work on a PS4 and Xbox One.
They had to, and then they had to really redo it, didn't they?
Yeah.
There's a game. What's the game that John plays? There's a game that John plays, and yeah.
Don't get me into the Destiny games. I could tell you stories about them.
How long did it take ACC to get it right? You know, that was full of bugs to start with. We was lucky to still be on Project Cars 2. Oh, overtaken nearly into the back of Cairns here.
Oh,
is it lazy?
Track limits.
Yeah, Butcher, first one, 21 minutes into the race. It's Daisy, that's the one. Thank you, John. I knew that was the one you played. Another one that's massively broke. Chris says, is it just lazy, or is it, or just better to get it real world testing? I think it's both. I think it's a bit of both, to be fair. As Cairns had a look at Vitas and still overtaker looking on the back of Cairns. Cairns and Vitas, huge fight for this gold championship.
Yeah, Manavola's in the pits.
So that's released Clouden. Clouden's 8 seconds off the back of Stardog. So now let's see Clouden's pace from here. Langley right all over the back of Messino for a third podium for a third place in gold at the moment. Dan's dropped out the second zone to Sylph. This is good points for Audio Sport in this one to gain over MSA Racing.
Well, both cars in second and fourth.
Yeah.
So.
This Vitas Cairns overtaker fight, you know, he's just allowing Mike and Radic to catch up slowly. 2.1 was the gap. It's now down to 1.3. So, you know, nearly a second taken out in the final sector alone. Butcher in for his stop go. That releases a lot of cars. That may also release Clouden from him. So, huge there. I'm expecting pit stops to be happening anytime soon as well. At the moment, Langley Messino is the closest fight on the circuit. Let's see what's going to happen now then.
See, with PMR, I didn't believe the hype, and I didn't pre-order it, and I still haven't bought it.
No, Constructor's not over yet. Top 3 can still win it, Chris.
We're not a PS4 disc, Benny.
I agree. I agree, Rob Smith, with that. I think the problem with Project Motor Racing, people paid £85 for the game and got what they got, and that's for me the biggest problem. Drive-through track limits, Comore, who has pitted already. And now he's got a drive-through. That will put him a lap down in this race. So that's the second one. And we're only 23 minutes into this. Pit stops, I reckon, are going to happen around the mid-stage of the race. Here comes Langley in the slipstream of Messino. Down the back straight. Getting closer and closer. Here comes Langley. He's alongside. He's up the inside now of Messino, who opens the corner up. And Langley's through. Good little move that from Langley. What was she saying about Overtaker?
Taker just down the back straight, just got in front of Cairns. The grunt of the Mustang came in.
So that helps Vitas out by putting a car between him and his championship rival at the moment.
But now, Mike and Radic are on there as well.
And Overtaker will fancy his chances over Vitas as well. Now the question is how quick can can Langley, who's about 5 seconds behind this train, get onto the back of these? I'm not going to say who's running what fuel, but I'm just looking at fuel. Oh no, okay. Interesting. Cairns just doesn't have the pace.
Meanwhile, the lead's opened up to about 2 seconds now.
Yeah, it has. Dan's dropped off the back here. Evening to Tardock in the chat. Great to see Tardock around. How's it going, buddy? Castro's into the pits. That's the first. That could be another pit stop done in this race. Castro deciding to pull the trigger. Ben and Rizalski now. Both close to Schmidt. Mike's gone wide. In the background there. He's lost out to Radic.
He's behind. Yeah.
And he's nearly fell behind that of... Who is that? That's Comar, isn't it? Who's just in his drive-through. Who's a lap down. So Comar's a lap down. Langley 5.3 behind. How long can it take him? But Schmidt now has got Rook and Rizalski. And they've lapped Manavola. So he's been lapped. Castro leaving the pit lane now. Very good, Tardock, thank you. Oh, Rizalski thinks of a send, can't do it there. Not close enough. Ben's had a moment. Ben's had a drama. He's got his left indicator on. He's had a drama. And Rizalski's through. So the battle for possibly second place in this championship. Rizalski's just past Ben.
He has. Which means Taker's in front. No, Taker's still behind.
Yeah, Taker's way behind at the moment. Tardoc's stuck in Scunthorpe for work, the most boring place in Britain. What a shame.
Anyway.
Never been to Scunthorpe, so I couldn't comment.
I had to fit in a Clarkson meme then. Oh no! Anyway.
Rizalski, after passing Ben, has just pitted as well, by the way. So he is now in.
Has anyone took out the pit marker board? Because that's right on that hairpin, isn't it?
It's right on the corner, isn't it? And yeah, be an interesting one. Overtaker also in, as is Radic, as is Mike. So the pit marker board's still there, thankfully. So everybody's going to gain a few places. This is on with Hibbs, who's catching Cardno, but has got Carlos catching him. So Langley's not yet pitted. Cairns has passed Vitas. Just noting on the timing tower, Cairns has got well in front of Vitas. So what has happened to Vitas again? Has he overshot the pit entry?
Possibly. I pick the people pitting because their tyres are starting to cook.
I think so as well. Has Cairns maybe looked after his tyres a little bit more than Vitas?
Possibly. Well, the BMW engine's in the front, isn't it?
Oh, little slide through the S's for Hibbs. Carlos now on the back of him, having a look up the inside, not going to get it done there. He then has a moment, coming through the left-hander over the crest of the hill. Down they come. And Hibbs at the moment, still out in front.
Taker is right behind Mike on the pit stops.
Oh, Mike's jumped him then. Mike has jumped over Taker in the pits. So has Radic. Interesting. So Overtaker's had a slow stop. Surely Mike... No, because Mike and Radic wasn't that far behind Overtaker, was they? So they'd have gained 5 seconds.
Or he was more cautious coming into the pits.
I'm going to say that one more than the other two.
Yeah.
Right, where are we? Sil stays out, Dan stays out, Schmidt stays out, so does Ben. Cairns now has pulled over a second and a half away of Vitas. I agree, John. I think a lot of people are struggling on tyres. And into the pits comes Vitas now. He's looking for that undercut on Cairns. So let's see what's going to happen here then. Closest fight on track. Still that Hibbs and Carlos battle at the moment. An Overtaker trying to gain on Mike. And both Hibbs and Carlos stay out on track. So Langley will now inherit second place in gold at this moment in time. How Cairns would love to have a few cars between himself and Vitas. This could be a crucial pit stop, you know, in terms of Radic and Overtaker and Mike now for Vitas. Yeah. So let's go to Radic. Vitas hasn't gone green yet. Radic not currently in the triple left right-hander. Hypertech saying that Vitas's tyres are definitely gone. I'm wondering if that's the moment he's possibly had then. Right, coming through the long right-hander. Vitas now goes green. This will be tight with Radic. I think he may slot in between Radic and Mike here for Vitas. Let's find out. Hypertech saying that Carlos is sideways around a lot of the corners. His tyres must be starting to go. We'll go back to the Cardno, Hibbs and Carlos fight. Vitas off the limiter. Where will he appear? In regards of Radic and up towards turn one. Here comes Radic. Vitas just ahead. So Vitas stays out in front. Back to Hibbs, who's got Carlos still on the back of him. Good little scrap this at the moment. COTA is a tyre eater, says Benny Volga. And thankfully this isn't in the middle of the summer where it would have been even hotter.
No, not lucky. We're in December.
We've been at COTA before, Phil, where it's been 50-odd degrees track temp.
Yeah, I know.
So the drivers will be a bit thankful of that.
Oh, yeah, look how Carlos's car is wiggling.
Yeah. That car is struggling on tyres, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're definitely... Yeah, he wants 4 new Pirellis and soon.
Is it Pirellis on this game?
Yes.
Oh, there we go then.
Yes.
There we go then. Right. Hibbs Still close. Schmidt, Rook, Langley all into the pits. So Cairns goes once again. Carlos in. So he's getting them tyres off. Into the pits comes Carlos now. Right. Hibbs on the back of Cardno. Radic right on the back of Vitas. And Vitas will not want this pressure. Cairns yet to pit as well at the moment. The bonus for Cairns is he's got 4 seconds of clear air. So Cairns isn't going to want this... Sorry, Cairns is happy in a place at the moment where he's not getting dirty air. He can just drive his race. Vitas, he's going to have to use his tyres a bit more to defend from Radic.
Yep, and Stardog is in as well.
Stardog in as well. It was that a couple of seasons ago when John was in Prime. 50-odd degrees track temp. It was really hot here. Really hot.
And the track limits were ridiculous, that one as well, weren't they?
Jeez, was they 50-odd degrees track temp at one point, and it was just scorching. Right, Langley's leaving the pit lane. I don't think this is going to be close. Langley may come out on the back of Overtaker and Mike in this one. When's he going to come off the limiter? No, he may not be actually. May be behind them. Yeah, he's going to be behind them. Langley's just come off the limiter now, so Langley could be closer to this train. And Mike and Overtaker's catching Radic while he's trying to attack the back of Vitas at the moment. Going to go forward to Cardno, though, because Hibbs has got past Cardno. And can Cardno come back at the Honda down the back straight? He's going to look up the inside, pulls back to the outside line. Cardno wiggling around, trying to get past Hibbs. Hibbs kept it with his one movement. And Hibbs stays in front. Good move, that, from Hibbs then. So we didn't see how he got in front, but he stays in front. Mike defending from Overtaker. Langley's 2.5 back, so Langley... right in contention here with Vitas under pressure. This again, Langley will want to beat Vitas to just get that gap under 100 points going into Donington Park, just to try and make things possible. The 2 championship contenders from last season where Langley came out on top, as Dan Davis and Cairns both pit. Sylph stays out. So now Cairns is in the pits. He was 1.5 seconds up the road from Vitas before Vitas pitted. Where will this bring him out?
Not stationary yet. Still rolling through Dan. Ooh, might have just missed his box slightly then, because he stopped and then rolled forward.
Ah, there we go then. So Dan, Cairns, Matt Wright, Hibbs and Cardno all in the pits.
Clouden now in as well.
Just next week left, Tardock. Just Donington Park next week left, and that is it. Radic dropped off the back of Vitas a little bit.
I said it for you, Mark.
Thank
Matt,
you.
2 weeks.
2 weeks today. 2 weeks today till Christmas. Get on.
4 weeks until I'm even older. Yeah.
I've just turned a little bit older. His Overtaker looking on the back of Mike Matthews. He is into the penultimate corner and then just nudges Mike out wide a little bit. Taker gives Mike the place back. So he ran deep, let Mike have the place back. So Overtaker tried it. This is now bringing Langley into play. Chris, I hope you guys get paid for these adverts. That's the 6th one already. We do, actually. And they're only set to medium, so they shouldn't even be on for that many, to be fair. But thank you for watching the adverts, because it does help the channel.
I don't.
Further forward. Oh, Kane's come out just ahead of Vitas, and he's just in. Radic is now on the back, nearly touched the back of Vitas just then. So Kane's come out in front. And now Radic looking racy on the back of Vitas all of a sudden. Schmidt jumped down in the pits by 3 seconds. We've got a race on our hands here. Rizalski's jumped Schmidt and Dan Davis and Ben Rook.
I don't... Rizalski must not have took tyres then.
But yeah, that's going to be... Yeah, he only pitted a couple of laps before, didn't he? That's going to be a tough one as Mike side by side with Overtaker in the background. It looks like Taker's going to have the move done this time, and indeed he is. Through goes Overtaker. Runs very deep though. Mike goes deep also. This could allow Langley to possibly get 1 or 2 places. Overtaker rejoins to the circuit side by side with Mike. No, Mike tucks in behind. Now Langley's going to get a double slipstream down the back straight. They both ran deep. Langley just too far back to capitalise.
Sylph's in.
It's all happening. Here comes Mike looking up the inside of Overtaker in towards the hairpin at the bottom of the circuit. Can they both get it stopped this time? They do indeed. Radic has fell right off the back of Vitas, who's stuck to the back of Cairns. This helps Cairns a lot. Can Rizalski now get ahead of Cairns? Cairns is already away, so I think Cairns may be in the lead of this race and will continue to lead this race.
Sylph, you mean?
Sylph, sorry, yeah.
Both BMWs.
Silk's not yet off his limiter, you know, and here comes Rosowski. Silk only off the limiter now. Short run up towards turn 1. Rosowski sets the fastest lap of the race, and Silk comes out. He exits turn 1 as Rosowski enters it. This is game on for the lead of this one. Ben Rook on the back of Dan Davis. Vitas still close to Keynes. And Langley's really putting Mike Matthews under some pressure. Langley's going with Mike as Mike goes defensive early on into turn 1. Will Mike come back across? No, Langley does. Langley comes back across into the braking zone. Mike defends the inside line. Langley looks for the up and under. Mike's had a wiggle on the rear, and that's cost Langley the momentum out of the corner. This is a great bit of battling.
He picked up all the detritus running that close to the pit walls.
That was all, yeah. It was all the marbles on the circuit that Mike had on his tyres there that cost him the traction out the corner. But Langley putting Mike under pressure now. Cardno ahead of Hibbs, so he jumped him back in the pits. And Butcher still in the pits as well. Langley close to Mike then. You've got Vita still putting Keynes under pressure. Radic has come back to play. An overtaker, you feel, could get back on this one as well.
Legend leads a lap.
He does lead a lap. And this is for the lead in gold and for that lead battle in the championship, which Langley would love to be a part of this three-way fight to keep himself in this championship running. Let's go, Roz, says Wainwright. Rosowski 1.8 off the back of Silf. Great strategy from Rosowski today.
Did he take tyres?
To set the fastest lap of the race, I'm going to say yes.
Or he pitted, not in traffic, so he had a nice clean bit of circuit.
Yeah, I think he's took tyres. Langley keeps putting Mike under pressure at the moment. We're going to try and keep between the couple of fights. This is the closest one, though. Keynes looks like he was a little wide. Vitas looked like he was trying to tuck underneath through the triple right-hander. Can't do it there. Radic just fell off the back of these two a little bit. And Keynes stays ahead of Vitas for the time being.
Cool. Mike's defending again.
He's defending hard. Has Langley got the run out the corner? No, I don't think he has. I think he's just a little bit too far back. Brakes. Langley up the inside. Gets it stopped on the apex. Can he get the momentum out the corner? Bit of hip and shoulder between Mike and Langley. This could be crucial for the Gold Championship especially. Mike's coming back at Langley. Is Langley letting him have the place back? Who knows? But he's back behind Mike Matthews.
Mike went to defend. Langley's trying to look round the outside.
Oh, Mike's just forced him off the road a little bit there. Yeah, I'm with you, John. I think he's nailed his pit stop, come out in good clean air. I don't know if he's got enough to beat Silf, but we'll see. What a fight this is. And then what a fight this three-way battle is between Keynes, Vitas, Radic, and soon-to-be Overtaker. What's happening, Phil?
Mike was a bit slower in the midsection, and then Langley was right up his backside. I had to rephrase it quick.
Langley is doing what he needs to do at the moment to put Mike under pressure and to keep himself in this gold fight. Because Vitas has lost out to Radic, I've just noticed in the foreground. Vitas has lost out to Radic. Huge for Keynes because it puts a car between himself and Vitas. Vitas coming back at Radic now, though, looking up the inside at the bottom of the back straight. Vitas now attacking the back of Keynes. Overtaker comes around the outside. Can Overtaker get it done? Not quite.
Meanwhile, we've got McLaren versus Ferrari between Mike and Langley. Langley's all over Mike.
Yeah, and this is bringing Messino into play as well, and Matt Wright. Mike's had a moment, but Langley's on the outside, so that's going to be the worst line to be on. If he can hold it around the outside, he'll have the inside for the triple right-hander. No, he can't. This is bringing Messino and Matt Wright into play around here. But no can do. Leger into the pits. Radic ahead of Vitas. Vitas now got to try and defend from Overtaker. Oh, this is interesting, Phil. It's getting spicy with 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, and John, naughty Mike, who are you, for Verstappen? Now we'll hear him moan about the skid block next.
Bissonoda. I went there for all you Red Bull fans. Overtaker looking up the inside, can't get past Vitas there. What's happening a little further back? Langley not close enough to Mike this time around. They've all cleared Leger in the pits. And now Langley's got Messino and Matt Wright for company in this one. Here's Vitas, though, defending from Overtaker at the moment.
Will Dan let Ben through?
I think he will for the championship. It's not going to matter constructors-wise. They're not going to lose out too much. Keynes is 9 seconds behind them.
That's the thing. 20 minutes ago, will Dan let release Ben?
I think Dan will release Ben, but I think Dan will try and catch Schmidt. Is where what I think will happen. Here comes Overtaker up the inside of Vitas. It's not one car between himself and Keynes. It's two. Vitas coming back at Overtaker now, though.
Whoa, that's a late move by Massino.
Oh, Massino's hit. Is it Langley? In the background,
Yeah.
just seen that. Langley stays ahead of Matt Wright, but he's well off the back now of Mike Matthews. And Overtaker stayed in front of Vitas. Vitas going to have a look. Down in towards the bottom of the back straight. Can't do it.
That was a day they do. Donald short by Massino trying with that lunge. That was definitely a lunge.
Matt Wright, I think, because Matt Wright at the end gave the place to Langley at the end of race one. So I think Matt Wright for Langley's Gold Championship will stay where he is. The problem is it's not enough for Langley. He needs to get to Vitas. Keynes, he'd love to beat Keynes as well, but Vitas is that championship leader that he needs to claw points back on.
But now Langley's got a rear gunner.
Yes, now he has got a rear gunner. How would
Points.
what help Ben? Chris?
Switch him with Dan. Points.
Because Ben would score more drivers' points for the championship, not lose more. So it, keep him a bit closer to Silf. Although Silf is winning this race with fastest lap, he's just gone now.
And he's pulling away now as well from.
He's got in a good rhythm, and there's no traffic up the road for him to worry about either. So let's see what will happen. Vitas has dropped off the back now of Overtaker. Vitas needs Radic and Overtaker to get past Keynes. Needs to get past Keynes as quick as he can. Can Langley now find that 1.6 seconds to get back onto the rear of Mike? No real other fights happening on circuit. Closest one is probably the Matt Wright-Langley fight, but I can't see Matt Wright attacking Langley in this one.
I can't see that being a fight, can you?
No, I think Wright, like you said, he's going to be Langley's rear gunner.
And have the widest 296 in the land.
And it's Carlos 1.9 behind, about 2.5 behind Langley. Langley's got to try and get that gap down 1.6 to Mike Matthews. That's what Langley's got to try and do now in this race. Remember, if you like what you see here, hit that thumbs up button, the bell to be notified, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. 1 week to go. Who Darren Cup on Tuesday. All 4 championships up for grabs. Dan Davies will be bringing you the action live from the home of SimPlay Motorsport, Donington Park. Myself and potentially Langley. He's travelling back home for Christmas, so we'll see if it is Langley. We'll be back live on Wednesday night, and then myself and special guest, because Phil's not able to do next Thursday, special guest next Thursday for the pro commentary once again.
Benny Varga, I think.
Drive-through penalty, third one of the afternoon. That is Manavola, this time with a drive-through penalty to his name.
I think Benny Varga should be your co-commentator next week.
Yeah, I don't mind
Benny?
that at all. I don't mind
Benny, if you're listening. Especially in 2 hours' time.
See who we can get him. Benny's 8 points off the back of Rozalski, and he's 101 off Silf. So if Dan lets Ben go, it's more points just to keep him in that hunt for Donington Park. I don't think it will be enough, though. I don't think Silf can win the championship tonight. No, he can't, but he can make it only a 3-way race and put on one hand on the trophy. Righty is not attacking the back, but Overtaker's getting close to the back of his teammate Radic in this race. Not a lot happening now, Phil, with 16 minutes to go.
Again.
No, oh, it is another one for Comar. Yeah, sorry, apologies. It's Manavola and Comar with a drive-through penalty. And we've just got a bit of a lull here now. And what's the gap, Langley to Mike Matthews? It's under a second, so maybe we don't have a lull. Maybe we've got a Langers chasing down Mike Matthews.
Throwing that car through the corners.
Home race for Langley, being on American soil. He is chucking that in. He is motivated, isn't he? He wants Mike. He wants an extra place because he knows he's going to try and give himself 15 or so minutes to get onto the back of Vitas and try and pass him. As Radic, I think, has let Overtaker go further forward. Yes, he has. So Overtaker's now going to try and head after Keynes.
But it's literally Langley's body language in his car. He is absolutely hurling it. Isn't Langley on pad as well?
He is, yeah. Sylph is the GOAT, says Tordock. It'll be his second championship if he wins here this season. He won 2 seasons ago before O'Reilly won last season. Drive-through cleared for both the drivers. That gives Sylph a bit of traffic coming up to now. Langley is close to Mike, within half a second now. Langley will want this. He wants to give himself as long as he can to try and catch Vitas.
Yeah, and Vitas is 5 seconds up the road.
Oh, he's having a look into the penultimate. Got a run on Mike. He's having a good look nearly into the back of Mike there. Oh, it is home race for Stardog. Yes, Stardog's American as well.
Oh, well. I had to do it. I
So,
haven't done it for a while.
Keenan Stardog and Rob Smith it would have been as well, but he's not here tonight.
The American Rob Smith, not
Yes, the American Rob Smith. Yeah. And Jimenez, but Jimenez also isn't here tonight. Right, Matt Wright's now back on the rear of Langley, and that's also brought Carlos close. But Wrighty is not going to attack his teammate. He's just going to allow Langley to try or attack Mike. Mike got the gap under 4 seconds to Vitas. Under 5 seconds to Vitas, should I say.
Oh, very close.
Langley is looking all over the S's for a move on Matthews here. Mike is holding on for dear life over Langley at the moment.
Has Mike's tyres died? Because
I don't know. I know in practice, before we came on air, he said he was just struggling. The car was oversteering and sliding around a lot. It's been great driving. It has indeed, Chris. Sill 4.3 up the road. Rosowski 6 seconds clear of Schmidt. Down within 8 tenths of Schmidt now. Ben's lost out to Dan. Langley tries to get the up and under on Mike Matthews. Mike got a decent exit. Was a little wide of the apex there. So that would have allowed Langley a better run through the corner. And he's right in the slipstream now. Can Langley get past Mike Matthews? This is looking back from the rear wing of the McLaren. Langley just not getting close enough. Mike already starting to defend a little bit off the curb. Gets his braking zone bang on. Langley gets a great run through the corner, but nowhere to go because Mike Matthews has parked it perfectly. Runs a little deep now. And is this the opportunity Langley needed? The problem is, unless Langley's through, he is through! Langley moves up another place, and now he's got 5 seconds in 12.5 minutes to catch Vitas. That would be, again, huge for gold, not just for Keynes, but for Langley as well, to keep himself as close as he can going into Donington Park.
what a move by Langley. Oh!
Now Mike's got to try and fend off his teammate of last season who's nearly rear-ended him there.
Mike is struggling, isn't he?
Big time. Really is. What does Matt Wright do, though? Does he attack Mike, or does he defend from Keynes and just think, well, Langley's got the pace over Mike. If I defend from, not Keynes, from Carlos, sorry. If I defend from Carlos, that's going to give Langley the best opportunity to pull away. Brilliant move, says Stothard in the chat. Indeed it was. From Langley there, then. So this is the Matt Wright-Carlos fight. Just behind, closest fight on the circuit. And Wrighty, look, isn't now attacking the back of Mike. He is sort of more being that rear gunner for his teammate, who's 5.5 from Vitas. Can he do the impossible in 11.5 minutes and gain that 5.5 seconds and challenge Vitas?
Last season's Pro-Am champion with Langley.
Yeah, runner-up for Vitas. Vitas' start to this, his back half of the season hasn't been as good as his first half of the season. But Vitas' first half of the season was that good. He's put himself in this position where he's able to lead gold by such a margin. It was a great start to the season for Vitas. Do you know what, John? That is a good shout. I think you're right. Did he change tyres? That's a good shout from John there, PN.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Dan is on the back of Schmidt. Ben Simbrick has cracked the weld for the wheel mount.
Oh dear. Is Ben now starting to struggle? Is that game over? Bonus for Vitas at the moment. Overtakers within a second of Keynes now. So Vitas needs less cars between himself and Keynes. Well, Overtaker's gaining on Keynes at the moment.
The car's dragging too much. I don't think he took tyres.
Yeah, I think that's in regards to Mike. Yeah, I agree. I think John's spot on with that.
Drive through for car 28. It's Messino.
So Messino drive-through penalty. That's not going to help him out. But I tell you what, this has been fantastic here at COTA. Under 10 minutes to go now. Dan within 6/10 of Schmidt. And the gap is not come down at all. No, you're right.
Holding on by... Who made that sim rig, Chris?
Drive-through for Radic. So that's huge for Vitas. So Vitas, with overtaker gaining on Keynes, now has got Radic that he will get past because of the drive-through. So all of a sudden, Keynes may not gain as many points over Vitas as he once would have hoped.
Nope.
Langley's got the gap down under 5 seconds now as well.
Mike's defending from Matt Wright. Heavily defending.
He is indeed. Right, he's tucked back into the slipstream now with Mike Matthews. Oh my days, this could be an interesting one to see till the very end. Dan still within a second of Schmidt also.
Mike defending behind Langley.
From righty, yeah, Matt Wright.
It's still 5 seconds. I don't think Langley's got anything left in the tank.
Langley's just lost 4/10 here in that last sector.
But I don't think there's enough left in the tank for him.
Oh dear.
Meanwhile, Dan's still on Schmidt by about a second. Ben has got a good about 10 seconds to Cairns, so...
Bringing Carlos back into play. Here's Mike Matthews and Matt Wright fighting here. Really bringing Carlos back into play. Right to the outside of Mike Matthews, looking for the up and under in the penultimate corner. Can't get it done. Can he try though at the final corner, I wonder? Mike just struggling even more at the moment. Radic with that drive-through penalty. He's got a couple of laps left to do it. Messino also hasn't done his yet.
Messino's got a lap to do his, if not he get DQ.
Yeah, got to do it at the end of this one as Messino, otherwise that'll be no points for him. Carlos has a look up the inside of Matt Wright. Oh, this could end in tears. Drive-through for Schmidt. Drive-through for Schmidt. That could also... Now, where will that put Schmidt in regards to Keynes? Let me double-check what the drive-through time is.
For about... If it's 25 seconds stationary and it's 59 in total.
29 seconds lost for a drive-through.
That'll put him behind Matt. Around Mike Langley. Yeah, around Mike Langley. Maybe behind, if he serves it now.
Yeah, I think he'll be behind Langley, but again, that gives... That'll help Keynes out a little bit as well, because Keynes will pass him as well as Vitas. So it'll still keep Overtaker behind Keynes and Vitas, but Keynes is under pressure from Overtaker now, half a second.
No, bolt bracket on for 1 week, then another fat man may bring a new rig.
Love that. Love that. So Schmidt's got to do a drive-through, so has Radic, so has Messino, and Messino's got to get his done this lap. Radic, I think, will have one more after this, and we know Schmidt will have 2 more after this.
Schmidt's in.
Yeah, he's come straight in, so let's see where this brings Schmidt out now. Langley's gap, bang on 5 seconds.
They're bringing him flowing. I remember the lines. Better ask Kelly for some sponsorship money.
Radic goes on for one more. He's got to do it at the end of this lap. I assume we're going to see Messino in for his drive-through. Drive-through cleared for Schmidt. Disqualified. So Messino, DQ. Now, where did Schmidt come out? Behind Langley, right behind Langley. So now this is interesting for Schmidt. Langley got the gap down to 4.7 seconds. GT Omega, brilliant rigs. I've got one myself. Second-hand, fantastic rigs. Good, stable rigs. So that's no points for Messino for not doing his drive-through.
is a comment there, but I'm not saying it. Meanwhile,
There's a
Taker's
comment
all
where-
over the back of Cairns. Right on the back. I thought Omega was a computer, now it's an Amiga.
Depends how you pronounce it, Chris. Yeah, he is right on the back of Cairns. This will really help Vitas. Radic has got to get his drive-through done this lap as well, by the way. Oh, overtaken nearly into the back of Cairns. Misses his brakes. That'll give Cairns some breathing space. Langley's got the gap down to 3.8, but he's got Schmidt on the back of him. What does he do? Does he let Schmidt try and attack Vitas? Or does Langley try and hang on for 9th place?
I thought it was a Vauxhall. That's true. There was a Vauxhall Omega.
Overtaker's dropped right off the back, by the way, of Cairns at the moment. And is Radic coming in? Yes, he is. So now Langley's got Schmidt behind him. Got the gap down to 3.8 to Vitas. So Vitas must have made a mistake somewhere. So what does Langley do with Schmidt? 3:47 left. What's the gap going to be now? Does Langley let Schmidt go and kind of follow Schmidt almost? Well, they've all passed Radic.
Yep, you see Radic trundling down the pit lane on that
Langley
camera.
pulled the gap down another 10th, but he's running out of time. Oh, Schmidt thought of a late lunge up the inside there. Carlos has dropped off the back of Mike. And Carlos, Schmidt at Radic still in the pit lane. Then he's just come out the pit lane. And he's ahead of... He's behind Hibbs. So he'll be ahead of Patrick Leger. So now does Dan, who's had Ben catch him quite quickly. Langley's got the gap down to 3.5, so it's just a couple of tenths each sector. Needs a bit more than that.
I wonder if this is the switcheroo coming.
Let's see what's going to happen here.
Never give up award goes to Kobar. He's had 2 drive-throughs, and he's still going.
Fair play to him. Fair play to him.
I think we need a never give up award for every race.
DJ Phil would have won that years ago.
Wouldn't
he? Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
He would still win it now,
don't get as many retirements nowadays. Dan asked let Ben through for the points. I completely agree. Audio Sport aren't going to lose anything. Just going to swap them round. Schmidt getting very close to the back of Langley. Langley's got the gap down to 2.8 now. And there will be 2 laps to go. Because Sylph, is already at turn 1 with 2 minutes 2 left on the clock. So there could be 2 laps left in this race.
I was about to say, it's a very funny looking Honda. If it's O'Reilly driving.
This is getting interesting. Carlos back within a second of Matt Wright, who's still on the back of Mike Matthews. No real other fights. Ben Rook within 9/10 of Dan. I assume Dan's just going to let Ben go when he gets there. Overtaker back within a second of Cairns, but your closest fight is this, Schmidt and Langley. Langley's taken another couple of tenths out of Vitas. It's down to 2.3. With 2 laps left, he's almost took a second out of him. Schmidt has a look up the inside. Langley gives him a wide berth. Schmidt can't get through. This is now just going to delay Langley gaining on Vitas here. And what was the last lap? Lap 27. Vitas a 2:08.2. And can't quite yet see Langley's last lap. Oh, it's there. I've got the wrong one on. Langley a 2:06.8. So Langley took 1.4 out of Vitas. He needs to do a little bit more. He's not going to do that sliding around. This could allow Schmidt in just further back, a bit closer as well between Mike and Matt Wright. But Langley still has Schmidt for company. And he's just lost a couple of attempts to Vitas this lap. Vitas damage limitation since Cairns got past him. He's only got Overtaker between them, and at the moment Overtaker's attacking the back of Cairns. So it could just be Cairns 1 place ahead of Vitas. Not too many points clawed back as Overtaker has a look. Thinks better of it. Ben's now on the back of Dan. I assume Dan's just going to let Ben go.
Langley's defending, but...
Yeah, this is now going to cost Langley, isn't it? 2.6 now the gap.
I would let Schmidt through, to be honest, and follow him.
Schmidt's got to run up the inside. Sylph starts the final lap now with 5 seconds left. Langley's gone deep. Schmidt tucks underneath. Has Schmidt got through on Langley? No, he hasn't. They both have a little twitch. Matt Wright's attacking Mike in the background. Schmidt around the outside. Can he get it done? Bit of hip and shoulder between the two of them. Schmidt still on the inside line. Schmidt and Langley still together. The last thing Langley needs here is an incident. He's let Schmidt go. Has Dan let Ben go yet? No, he has not. Overtaker still within 6 tenths now of Keynes. What a race this has been. Let's get the driver of the day poll out there.
As Matt types furiously. Ben's right on the back of Dan.
Three of the driver of the day votes are gold drivers as well, because I think they're cracking race 1 and race 2 performances. Hibbs not as good a race 2 performance as the other two, but Sylph looking for 2 race wins at the moment. Is Dan going to let Ben go on the back straight? Let's wait and see. Overtaker within half a second of Kane. Schmidt now 2.7 off the back of Vitas. Langley's already a second nearly behind Schmidt. So I don't think Schmidt's going to be able to get Vitas. Does this? Is this where Dan lets Ben go?
Meanwhile, we'll have to jump to the race leader.
We will in a moment. Dan hasn't let Ben go yet. What can Overtaker and Keynes do? Can Overtaker get this move done on Keynes? This could have huge implications for the Gold Championship. Overtaker pulls out, has a look, tucks back in. Nothing done there. Matt Wright on Mike Matthews, not close enough. We, though, will go back to Sylph. You keep watching the Overtaker and Keynes fight, because Sylph is going to come to the line. He's going to take the win and the fastest lap. Sylph wins here in the second race, the feature race at COTA. Good win for him. Rosowski's going to come home for the P2. And a lovely, lovely result for Rosowski, but not enough to close the championship. And Dan at the moment has not let Ben go, and I don't think Dan is going to let Ben go, because the line comes up pretty quick. Dan slows down, not enough. Dan takes third, Ben 4th place. Keynes will come home for P5, just ahead of Overtaker. Good job for Keynes in that one. Good little race. He stays P5, Overtaker 6th. Vitas then P7. Damage limitation in his Gold Championship, because Keynes doesn't gain too many points.
Langley's tyres are gone.
This time around. Schmidt will take home a P8. Langley is going to take home a 9th. Mike Matthews will stay P10 ahead of Matt Wright. Carlos P12. We then just wait for Cardno, who is P11. Cardno P13. Hibbs P14. Radic P15, Leger P16, Castro we're just awaiting on now. And a little fight at the back here between Butcher and Stardog. Jamal Clouden down in 18th place. Not the race he'd have wanted. Stardog defends there from Butcher. Does he make the apex? No, he does not. Butcher's going to get him on the inside. This will be a run to the line, but I think Butcher's going to take this one. Yes, he does. Butcher takes it from them, that of Stardog. And we will jump into the Discord chat to get the interviews. Sorry, forgot the word there. The interviews for the first and second races. We'll be back in just a moment. And we're live in the commentary box for the driver interviews for this afternoon. I'm just going to finish typing the results in. But Phil, give us your drivers of the day for gold and platinum, and sum up that COTA for us, please.
Forgotten what happened in race 1 now. Well, the driver of the day overall is Langley, because throwing that Ferrari through the curves, lovely. Gotta love a Ferrari being thrown around. A will be my gold driver. Platinum, Sylph. Yeah. That'll do.
Yeah, there
That'll
we
do,
go.
Monkey. That'll do.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give my gold driver of the day to. I'm going to give mine to Cairns. I think he's had a good day, top 5 and an overall podium in the first race. I'm going to give mine to Cairns. I think he's been brilliant. And then my platinum driver of the day, I'm going to go Self. Yeah, I'm going to go Self. Good display from Self. Nearly Schmidt. The drive-through, I think, cost me giving it to Schmidt in this one. I'm just inputting the results. Obviously, I've not got to work out the drop scores, so that should all be fine. Seeing as drop scores ended last week. Butcher obviously got 19th at the line. Carlos finished down in 12th. And then Manavola kept going for 21st. So while I quickly work out the championship points, who have we got in here that we can speak to? Well, first of all, we'll chat with our gold podium driver in Langley. Langley, pair of third places today in the Gold Championship. Good 6th place as well overall in race 1. Just wasn't able to gain onto the back of Vitas. You stuck behind Mike Matthews for a while there at the end.
Stuck is an understatement. I felt like I was glued to his rear end. Yeah, and then it seemed like the night I actually had pace tonight, I couldn't stay out of incidents or getting barged out the way. So the pace felt amazing. The car got slidey as the stint went on, but I think that was everyone. But the advantage I felt like for me was I was able to use the slide to my advantage for the most part. And yeah, I mean, I'm really happy for the team result as well. I mean, 6th place, 7th place, 9th place, 11th place overall for the pair of us, and good points tonight. Hopefully that catapults us up the constructors. So yeah, overall happy with tonight. I think in terms of points, probably my best weekend this season. And yeah, I know Mike's in here, so kudos to him. That was a great battle, and I'm glad I was able to get by him finally, because then my teammate had a headache with him as well. So yeah, good night.
Yeah, it was an interesting one as well. Great to see the race 1 though. Great result, P6 overall. You have to be really happy with that going into Donington Park next week. Yourself, Vitas, and Cairns all mixing it in that top 10 these last couple of races. So the pace is looking like it's coming to you.
Yeah, this is one of my stronger tracks, I would think, in terms of pace. Donnie, I would not say so as much. I think Vitas beat me by over 40 seconds last year at Donnie, so I know he's really, really strong there. I would need a miracle to win the gold championship, but I've seen crazier things happen.
Indeed, you have thoughts on Donington Park next week?
I know you disagree with me, but it's just not. It's not my favorite track. I don't quite enjoy it. Same reason as you's given for this track. You can't really get into a rhythm. That's me around Donington. Yeah, track's not for me. So just gonna go out there, do the best I can.
Well, congratulations tonight, and
Thank
good
you.
luck next week. Moving on, we've got Vitas in here as well. We'll speak with Vitas before we move on to the Platinum drivers. Wasn't to be tonight. No gold wins for you, and just losing out to Cairns in these 2 races, just allowing him to get closer to you going into that finale next week.
Yeah, hi Mathew. Yeah, good to be here. First time in Comms Box. Yeah, definitely. My goal was just to extend the gap, maybe, or just leave it like it is, you know. But yeah, the car felt a little bit oversteery, like always, some of the last few races. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Donington to see what's happened. 58 points, sorry, is the gap between you and Cairns at the moment. Obviously, all results are provisional until the stewarding is done. Is that a big enough gap going into Donington next week? Like Langley's just said, you had a great performance at Donington last season. In the Pro, though, bit of a tougher grid to get past. You've got to sort of keep your eye on Cairns and Cairns alone at the moment. Yeah, definitely. I mean, really anything can happen at the end of the day. So, and also there can be rain also. So yeah, we'll definitely practice to just, yeah, I'm trying to get this win in gold. Yeah, last season I was the chaser, you know. This season I'm the one being chased, and I can really feel the pressure, you know. So yeah, I'm looking forward and do some practice, and yeah,
Well, congratulations tonight on the second place in race number 2 in gold. We'll let you get back to it, and good luck next week.
Yeah, thank you.
We move on to Dan Davis now, who was third place in the platinum category tonight. Dan, Lexus looked a lot better than last time you was here in the Lexus. Nearly a pole position and a podium in the end. Rizalski must have had a phenomenal pit stop because he jumped you by some margin, but you was keeping Sylph honest in the first stint.
I don't want to upset Rizalski, but I was having bad pit stops again tonight. So it wasn't really his... He did have a spectacular pit stop, I will give him that, but I also messed up. But yeah, a circuit where I thought I'm never going to get a podium with the Lexus here, and lo and behold, I got one. A lot of work has been put into testing and getting the car exactly where I wanted it. And again, I just shocked myself. That qualifying lap came out of nowhere, nailed it, and like I said in the chat, there was nothing left out there. I could not get anything out of it. And annoyingly, both Sylph and Schmidt took it, and I was just one of the poles that I would love to have had, but it happens. But yeah, I knew Sylph would be quick later on in the race, so I knew I had to get him early on. If I didn't get him early on, he was going to be gone, and as I thought, the Lexus dies quite bad. The final sector kills it. The front tyres were gone, and I just could not stick to the more agile BMW. So I gave it a good shot. The engine wouldn't switch off in the pit lane again, so just silly little errors here and there, and luckily Schmidt got a drive-through, but I reckon I would have got him by the end of the race anyway. But yeah, a hard one.
You said a hard week of test, a good week of testing in terms of getting the preparation for this car bang on. Not all that case though, is it? Because you had a power cut the other night. That sort of delayed a bit of testing for you in terms of being able to fully get the car where you wanted it. These pit stop errors happened last week at Kyle Army. They're happening again tonight. Donington Park next week. We know how much you enjoy, we know how much you go well round the British circuits. Going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, just people watch their back because I'm coming. I'm coming for Donny. I started the season on a high, winning at Alton Park. We'll go back to a British circuit and we will park at the name of it. So me and this Lexus have produced some mad points and times around Donington Park, and all I say is I've got nothing to lose. There's everything to gain in the team's championship. Regarding the drivers, there's nothing to lose. So you know, watch this space and watch the Lexus go hard for probably its final run, and you probably won't see it again for a very long time. So yeah, I'm going to go in and hard, whether it's raining, dry, whatever it comes at me, I'm going to give it my best shot.
Well, Dan, best luck for next week. Congratulations on the P3.
And yeah, well done to Sylph and Rizalski. Solid job from the boys.
And we'll get into Rizalski in just a moment, but a man we've not had on the podium for a very long time. We'll speak to him first. Mike, completely complaining Monday night, before the show tonight. Terrible car, terrible track, can't drive it, too slow, too slidey, too oversteery. Second place.
You've seen how hard it was on Monday. I was all over the place. Tonight, I've massively changed parts of this car, as in setup, and it got stable. I was quite happy with my qualifying. In race one, I think I just got lucky I had a decent pace, but there was a lot of incidents behind, and that just gave me a comfort gap other than Sylph chasing me like a rabid dog. But yeah, no, it was a decent race one.
Decent race one. You was ahead of Sylph. Sylph jumped you in the pits, overcutting you. You was pretty close to him though on pit exit. Did you think for a moment that there may have been a sniffer to race win?
A little, but it was more on if he messed his stop up. So I pitted because he was right behind me, and I thought I'm going to lose time if I fight him going into turn one. Yeah. So I went for the pits to lose as little as I could, and then I was kind of hoping he'd mess up the pit entry or he delayed starting his engine or anything like that, and it would give me that little edge, but unfortunately not. Cheers.
Now, John, as in Hypertech John, put an interesting thing in the chat. You struggled in race 2. Did you take tyres? Because it really didn't look like you did.
I did.
Oh, wow. Okay, there you go.
I
John.
absolutely did. I was defending. The first stint was lovely. At a decent pace, quite solid, cracking on. sticking pretty much with the back of overtaker and the group ahead, not really losing much. Second stint, horrendous. And I just engaged Kelly mode and defended.
Thoughts on Donington Park next week?
Good track. I hope it rains. I enjoy it there. The McLaren's not bad there. So hopefully I don't have as much work to do on it. But yeah, I really hope it rains for a really good finale.
Indeed. Well, congratulations on the P2. We move over to Ryszalski now. P2 tonight, great stop. You jumped Schmidt, you jumped Ben, you jumped Dan in the pit stops. We know Dan had his problems in the pits. He was close to Sylph after he'd done his pit stop in race 2. Just wasn't to be tonight. Sylph got into that rhythm after his pit stop, and you managed to just bring it home for second place.
Yes, exactly that. I've pitted around 25-minute mark, something like that. So I knew tires are gonna be dead at the end, and they were, as predicted. But yeah, the undercut was very, very powerful. But I knew, like, honestly, after his outlap, I knew he's gonna go away very quickly. Like, the whole race, basically, I didn't have my head in the right place. I got taken out in sprint. Then messed up my last quali lap before it even started because, I got too good exit of the last corner and it was next lap invalidated. It was 4.9, so would be front row. But yeah, after the sprint, the head was just not there, and I was just hoping for it to end as soon as possible. To be fair.
The sprint didn't go your way. That's put you on the back foot for the championship now, going into Donington Park. Some 100 points you've got to gain on Sylph, which is no easy feat. But you got to take the positives, I suppose. Haven't you, P2? You've had good pace. I've seen you in testing all week. I'd love to see on the SimBot data on the Discord your how many laps you've done at each circuit throughout the season, because you have put some testing in. Donington Park, though, what can you do around there?
Around 400 laps each circuit.
There you go. There you go.
Just to give you a perspective, a lot of practice. You have to really bring your A game to match those guys, and to be, at the end of the season, to be still fighting for the championship. Yeah, I know it's a big stretch, but to mathematically have a chance, you really have to push a lot throughout the season. And in terms of Donington, I don't know. It's my mediocre track. Let's play it like that. 31 kilo of ballast doesn't help necessarily. Yeah. I'm just glad Sylph is the same boat as I am. So let the best man win, right?
Indeed, let the best man win. Well, congratulations on the P2 in the feature race. Enjoy that one, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, mate.
We move on to Sylph, though. Double race winner tonight, Sylph, and pole position. Pretty good night of points for yourself in this one, and have really kind of now got one hand on that championship. 100-point lead over Ryszalski. I know it's never done until it's done, but that puts you in a good position at the moment.
Yeah, dude, well chuffed with that. I came into today, I wasn't really expecting to be up there, to be honest. It's not a favourable track. I hadn't done much driving during the week, so I was hoping for maybe a top 5 or something. Yeah. Pulled a quali lap of my life from somewhere. Well chuffed with that, and just no mistakes. Did exactly what I needed to do. So I can't complain. I've got a big grin on my face after that one.
Yeah, I can imagine. It was a solid night, and really a night at a time when you needed it, because 40-something points going into tonight, it could have all gone the other way, and you could have been 40-odd-something points behind. So you really needed a good night tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. It were rough. It were nerve-wracking, to be honest. It's never a fun track, really, is it? With the track limits, you're a couple mistakes away from absolutely destroying your race. So kept it together. Can't complain. Very happy. Good job to Ryszalski and Dan as well. Kept me honest throughout the entire thing. Yeah. So
Donington Park next week. As Ryszalski's just said, a lot of ballast on the car for Donington Park for BMW. BMW, a strong car at Donington if you can get it right. Rain around, potentially, it looks like at the moment. What can you do there?
I love the track, to be honest. It's home circuit, it's local circuit, so it's always got a soft spot with me. it's raining, it's raining. There's not much we can do about it. We'll just try and do what we can. Yeah, just keep going, keep trying to carry this momentum forward into the last round and just score some points and try and secure it.
Exactly, local circuit. Hope for me as well, best circuit on the calendar in my opinion.
Yep.
Congratulations tonight on the double race win. Enjoy that one.
Cheers,
Phil, you gave your driver of the day to, I think you said Langley in gold, and was it Sylph in platinum? Sylph in platinum. I gave mine to Sylph and to Cairns. I think Cairns had a fantastic night of racing. The chat's gone the way of Langley for the driver of the day. So the chat have gone for Langley in that one. But we head over Donington Park. All 3 championships can be decided. 100 points Sylph leads over Rosowski and 117 to Ben, who's still mathematically in it. Schmidt goes up to 4th and Dan up to 5th. They're out of it, so is O'Reilly. Comar is 7th with Diesch in 8th. Cloud in 9th, Mike 10th. Carlos up to 11th with Bolton 12th. Matt Wright 13th, Skunky McGowan. Williams, Radic, Leger, Overtaker and Mezin down the bottom of that table. 58 points, Vitas to Cairns with 108 of Langley. Hibbs can still win it. He's 147 behind. Manavola's slin it, as is Cardno as well. So 6 drivers in gold can all still take that championship next week. Messino is 7th. He's out of it from Harris. Then Butcher, DeCourt, Castro, Watkowiak, Ramsel, Clace, Stardog, Jimenez, Smith, and then Gillies. And then in the Constructors' Championship, it's 79 points. So Audiosport have clawed a lot of points back in race 2. 79 points with 331 up for grabs. Anything can go anyway there. Momentum Motorsport as well are still in that as well. 292 behind. They've gained points, but it's going to be tough for them to score there. Cloud9 staying 4th. Quantum Motorsport go up into 5th from Racing Soft, SimPlay Racing, MSA Autosport. The Casuals team, GBR, Blaze Motorsport, Balkan Sim Hub, Utopia Motorsport, Greasy Bandits Racing, Bearded Racing. But that is it. The Donington Decider, not only in Who Darren Cup, Pro-Am and in Pro. Only one championship out of all these new championships this season. Only one is done, and that is Benny Vargas, which is still provisional. Drivers still have an hour and a half in Pro-Am if there is to be a ticket against Benny Vargas. So it is still for the time being provisional. But either way, that is the only championship crowned as this moment is. But what a night it has been here at SimPlay Motorsport. COTA in the bag. One more to go at the home of SimPlay, Donington Park. And what a race that's going to be. 4 championships on Tuesday night for the Who Darren Cup. Dan Davis will be bringing you all that action. I'll be back on Wednesday night. Potentially with Langley, depends on what day he's travelling back to his parents for Christmas. So hopefully it is with Langley for the decider in bronze and in the teams championship there. Only 2 points in the teams between SimPlay and Audiosport. Cracking championship fight so far. And then we've got platinum, gold and the teams in Pro on Thursday night, where I'll be back again on Thursday next week. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new, hit the bell to be notified, and like the stream if you have liked what you see here, as well as check out our fantastic sponsors. Once again, in the description, Design Manchester and Audiosport. But the Donington Decider for the whole week next week. You're not going to want to miss any of the action as we end 2025 season and end season 9 here on ACC. We'll see you next time, and we'll see you at Donington.